What's going on? What's going on to all my embracers? You know it. It's Thursday night. You guys know what I be doing on Thursday night, either 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm right here with you guys, with my embracers. So again, my name is Grace from Embrace the Grace, and this is my channel. Welcome. And if this is your first time here, really welcome. And everybody, please don't forget to press the like button upon your arrival, share the show, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And definitely show support for the channel at # Embrace the Grace 23 for Cash App. Okay, so with that being said, what is this channel about for all my new embracers? This channel is about having those uncomfortable, messy, necessary conversations. And a lot of those conversations end up being very informative and educational for some. And we do this to give an opportunity for people to heal and grow. And the end result that I want to see is for my embracers to become better versions of themselves. Because when we know better, we do better. And if we're doing better and we know better, we're having better relationships, we're making better financial decisions. We're just being better all across the board. And that's what life is about. It's about elevating, evolving, and growing and becoming a better version of ourselves. We're not here to judge. We're not here to point fingers. None of us are perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm here trying to make a difference. I'm here trying to teach people alternative methods on how to do things and learn things. And you'll always see me bring up special guests, people that know more than me, people that are already there where I'm trying to be. So that's what it's all about. It's the atmosphere of creating a buffet so everybody can eat. Ain't no crabs in the pot over here. Ain't no colorism. None of that. What there is here is an open, free space to be able to talk. But I do have to go over some things with you guys because there have been things going on lately that I'm just not too happy about, and I have to nip it in the bud now. First things first, we will not have 5-hour shows. Last week, I was so tired at work that I actually had to take some PTO and go take a nap because I don't function well when I'm tired, and especially the job that I'm doing, you know, it's very tedious and it's a lot. And to be tired I personally don't like to go to work tired because I like to be efficient and productive. So with that being said, I'm shooting for 2 hours. My max is 2.5 hours. And my definitely cap out time, I don't care who's talking, who's on the show. I gotta nip this in the bud. It will be max 3 hours. Okay, so in order to maintain order and not chaos, and in order to stay on top of this timeline, we will have to go over some rules, because unfortunately, because I haven't been really enforcing rules, that's why it's been kind of out of control. So we're gonna go ahead and go over some rules. There's only 3. They're very simple. First one is no over talking others, especially moi, the host. If I speak and I ask you to be quiet, you shut the fuck up, respectfully. Okay? 2, absolutely no sign language whatsoever. If you know me, you know I loved and admired and respected Kevin Samuels. Well, for those of you that don't know, no shame, S, no insults, I, no making people feel guilty, and no need to be right. There is no right or wrong over here. What there is discussions and debates. Okay? We're not here to try to change your mind or change your mindset. We're just trying to be able to become better versions of ourselves. And lastly, but certainly not least, you got to stay on topic. This is why the shows be going to 5 hours, because we stray from the topic. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like it because sometimes the conversations be good, but I myself am going to have to enforce this. And you have a 3-strike rule. The first time you get a warning if you don't stay on topic. The second time I talk to you firmly, and the third time I drop you. And that's it. If you would like to come up, I have no problem with that, but you must stick to these rules. I must stay to the timeline. Okay, it's very important, and in the entertainment and show business world, that you respect time. A lot of you guys will see me that I try to start on time all the time. Again, I'm not perfect, but that is the goal. So with that being said, and of course, you can find me here on my YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, WhatsApp. I'm all over the place. Guys, keep bringing in them emails, them show ideas. I mean, you're gonna laugh at the way this show came about, but we'll talk about it. And so, with that being said, let me go ahead and bring up my A1 from day one. He's been rocking with me for a minute now, and he's going to introduce himself, and we're going to get right at it. And I'm not dropping the link, because with that also, I'm also going to be very careful who I allow on the panel. In order to control chaos, I have to make sure I'm not bringing somebody chaotic up. So yes, I am. If I drop the link, I would specifically drop it for that person. But for right now, we're not having open, because I need to have order on the channel. So with that being said, how you doing, Bess?
Oh snap! You I see you. You followed my lead with the rules. I see you.
Absolutely, I had to. Hey, the best form of flattery is mimicking. I had to, because I can't do these 5-hour shows. And the reason why we go 5 hours is because of the BS, staying off topic, and it was too much. It's too much. 2 hours is the goal, 2.5, but 3 hours I tap out. That's it. I'm throwing the white towel. So how you doing, my dear?
I'm doing well, family. I'm doing well. It's a great day. Spring is in the air. Aries season, let's go. Birthday season, let's go. My Yankees won today. I'm very, very happy.
They sure did. Yankees, they was down.
Let's go. Yeah,
they was down. Did you see that?
We was down 4-0, y'all. We came back on 5-4. My man Juan Soto is a new and improved new Yankee up in the building. You know what I'm saying? We here, man. Let's go.
I love Yankee fans, because they're getting just as excited as I do. So yes, we won our opener. We won our opener, so that's a good sign. How you doing, Uncle Ferg? What's up, Unc? Knowledge and relationships, what's going on? That's another thing I got to do better is calling out people in the chat. But when you're here trying to run the show, run the chat, it's a lot. But I also have to do better. And Trey Ferg said, please follow the law of the land. Absolutely. Thank you. And Trey, this link is for you. You can definitely come up here because I don't have a problem with you. You're just a little long-winded, but that's okay. You you get that. you get that because you be dropping gems. So I gotta let you.
First, for real.
Yeah, he's OG. So okay, that link is for only Uncle Ferg. So do nobody else for now. Okay, I have to try and see how this goes because when this channel blows up, because it will, I don't want to be doing things like this later. I need to nip it in the bud now. So when the gates open and it floods and we're embraced by all the grace, you know, we got to have shit right then. So Bess, let me talk to you about how this topic came about. And shout out to my queen. Take heed to the message. You guys got to go over there and check her channel out. She has got some great content. A lot of y'all women may not like it, but she's not there to be liked, but you will respect her. So I was on her show and I saw her talking about how women need to do better about choosing their mates and doing some more vetting. So I said, okay, you're telling them what to do. But I, over here on this channel, always like to take it a step further. So now that we're telling them what to do, let's show them how to do it. Because we could tell a person what to do all day long. But if they don't know how to do it and what they're doing, everything you're saying is null and void. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a show about embracing the art of vetting. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So to you, what is vetting to you?
Oh man. Wow. Vetting is a process, and I don't know that everybody understands, how to go through that process. I think you have to have friendship first, right? Or at least attempt to. I mean, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you get to know a person, y'all meet each other, and y'all just all over each other. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're in the bed, you're like, oh, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, how did this happen, right? But sometimes you meet a person and you like, man, get away from me. Like, get away from me. Like, you wasn't who I met on the phone or whatever. Or through chat, like, you were completely different. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you. And then sometimes you meet a person and it's just casual. You get to know each other, right? And you build a bond, you build a friendship, right? So any of these three scenarios can happen, okay? In each scenario, you cannot lose your mind, okay? You got to keep your mind and emotions intact, and you have to take things, I don't want to say slowly, but you have to go step by step, right? Remember, when you first meet a person, I don't care if the sparks is flying, and y'all all over each other, and you're in the bedroom, and she cooking your eggs, and you clean up her, you dusting and clean up her house and all that, and everything seem all good, and it's only a week or a month in, you don't know her, she don't know you. You gotta remember that. Y'all don't know each other, and you not knowing each other always exposes himself when something happens in the other person's life. It could be a job loss. It could be a loss of a family member. It could be problems with the kids. It could be their own mental health, right? It could be something happening at school, because a lot of us adults are going back to school, right? You know what I mean? It could be things with our parents if they're getting elderly or whatever, and us having to, take care of them. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that could come up. And when those things come up, now that real person you're going to see the other side of that person, right? You're going to see how to handle issues. Because that's where relationships really get tested, is when the problems come up, right? When the problems come up, yeah, all that, y'all chilling in the bedroom and taking showers together and all that. Yeah, now we really gonna see what it is now. You know what I'm saying? When the problems come up, can you still be a friend? Are you still gonna text them? Are you still gonna call them? Are you gonna isolate? When the problems come up, know what I'm saying? Well, if you don't want to be around them in the first place, then the problems will just make you not want to be around them anymore. But yeah, when the problems come up, that's when you're gonna really get tested. So just get to know somebody, really build a solid friendship with them, right? Like I said, I know sometimes sparks fly and things happen quickly, or sometimes they go down quickly. But even in that whole process, just get to know that person, because you never know who this person really is. You know what I mean? Get to know them, get to know, who they are, get to know their habits, how they live, what their visions and goals are, what their religious viewpoints are, what their political viewpoints are, how they feel about family. Do they want a family? Do they even speak to their own family? You know what I mean? Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Just, how they would view you if you have a big family, or if you have a small family like them. Do y'all even have the same core values and beliefs? You know what I mean? And how to build a relationship and how to build a legacy. Because let me tell you something. If something is off, it's going to be a problem. Okay? I'm letting you know that. It could be something really small. You could like Chinese food and they could like Mexican food. And that could be a problem. Okay? I know it sounds small, but anything could lead to something. All right? I'm just giving y'all wisdom off of what I've been through. Right? So you have to factor in everything. You know what I mean? If I want to clean the house on Wednesday, you want to clean the house on Sunday, that is an issue. Okay? Because now it's a conflict of what we want to do. Now, in that, there's a word that we have to remember. There's a couple of words we got to remember. Compromise is one, right? So you got to compromise.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be your way. So you got to compromise. And two, you also have to be open-minded, right? So it can't always be your way. You know what I mean? Your way is not always the good way. And then lastly, you have to stick to your boundaries, right? If you have boundaries and you say these are your boundaries, stick to your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? If you don't stick to your boundaries and if things go left and now you're upset, don't be upset at that person. You need to be upset at yourself because you're stuck to your boundaries. And vice versa. Salute the Dragonfly Jones. Salute, salute. You know what I mean? What up, fam? But
What's up, Dragonfly? I was gonna say hi to you, but I didn't want to interrupt Bess. So salute to you, Dragon. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But with that being said, like these are things that you have to do when you're vetting. And then as you're vetting, right, you get to know a person, you get to build with them, right? Continue to build with them. And I would say within the first 6 months, now 6 months to a year, you kind of know what you want to do, right? Kind of know where you at. No, not in 3 months, okay? Don't rush the process, all right? 6 months to a year. Trust me on it. 6 months to a year, right? Let that 6 months to a year go by. By year 2, you can get engaged, right? And then by year 3, you could be married, right? So you can get married within a 2.5, 3 year span. Anything kind of quicker than that, yeah, you may have some issues. I'm not gonna lie to you, all right? I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? Now you might not have any issues, but what they say, results show, survey says.
right.
Have some issues. You know what I mean? Grace knows she's been through the ups and downs. I've been through ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? She know what I'm talking about. Like you gotta really take your time, get to know this person, and build. You know what I mean? Really build. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about. And trust me, you know what I mean? Like I said, any little thing can be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So, and here's another thing too. I want to throw this out there too. If you don't have the the same type of personality, or she's extroverted, you introverted, that can also be an issue. Make sure that personality and your lifestyle match, man. They gotta match. If they don't match, it's gonna be a problem. If you want to go to church, you want to go to the club, it's gonna be a problem. All right?
Absolutely.
Your lifestyle got to match. I don't care how good looking they are. I don't care about none of that. There's gonna be a conflict. You know what I'm saying? So make sure it completely matches. Make sure y'all want the same number of kids. Make sure y'all have certain things intact. Now, like I said, there's certain things you can work out. Like I know I bring the food thing up, right? And I'm gonna keep it short because I don't want to be too long-winded. I know I brought the food thing up, but that thing is really minor. You can get that worked out. What kind of food you like, or what kind of movies you like, and all that. You can work that stuff out. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But the core things like family, kids, religion, politics, social things, yeah, you can't skip over that. That's got to be on par. You know what I mean? Even social issues. If she want to be a Black Panther and you ain't about that type of life, then you need to leave her alone. And vice versa. If he militant and you ain't militant at all, y'all need to leave each other alone because it ain't gonna work. So yeah, that's my stand on it. And religious viewpoints too. I throw it out there. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and pack it up because Bess has said everything almost what I was going to say. So thank y'all for coming.
Hey,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love your background. This is what you're known for. You be changing the background as the show goes, and I love it. How you doing tonight? And tell me what you know about vetting.
How you doing, Grace? Can you hear me?
Yep, okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit shaky right now. My son came. My son came to say goodbye to me. He's on his way to Florida for spring break, and then he comes home the day before, because I told him you could go to Florida, but you better be here for your birthday. That's our day. So he'll be here on he's flying during that solar eclipse. So that's, I'm a little bit nervous about that, but hey, he's about to be 18. It's time to, one of my homeboys, sometimes when I be feeling soft, and I'm out of my character, I call my peoples in New York and they get me right. You know what I'm saying? They get me right away. And they were like, take the titty out the mouth. He's grown now. He's a young man. It's time. And I've done that, but it's still, it's a process. It's going to take a minute. That's my only one. He's been up underneath me for 17 years. So, but I know he's going to go have fun. He's going to go be with his dad, and he's going to go get laid and do what they do. And we prayed before, he left, and I prayed that he don't come back with no grandbabies or anything. I kept it real. God, please make him strap up. Please, Lord Jesus. Not yet. But anyway, with that.
Grace, he'll be fine. It's Aries season. He'll be fine. You know what I mean? Me and him have a lot in common. It's Aries season. You know what I'm saying? He'll be good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I absolutely know. Alrighty, so I got panels coming in.
Sound. Hold on, y'all.
No, you sound good. Okay. I don't know if you... Jay, I don't know if you were here when I was going over the rules and stuff, but I'll put them up while Unc is talking, because I can't do these 5 hours shows. It killed me the last week, So the main thing is just staying. You are very respectful, so I don't have no issues. The main thing is staying on topic. That's why we go 5 hours, because we get derailed. And I know it's my fault sometimes too, because the conversation be so good. I don't want to end it, but I am going to do my best to stay on topic. So with that being said, go ahead and talk your shit. What is vetting to you? Give us that old school version.
Well, I don't know if I can give the perfect answer to it. I just know that for myself, I've always looked at the qualities of a woman just outside the looks. The looks got me over there to say anything, but then I looked at, how you moved. I like hand movements. I was into a lot of crazy stuff, again, because I grew up with sisters and my mother in the home. So there were certain things I knew I didn't like, but I was looking for certain things in them. And, it's important to definitely communicate and ask questions. And I learned early that a question that I ask somebody and they don't answer, that is my answer. So I wasn't, if I didn't get the answer I was looking for, I was like, okay, red flag. And, it's changed a lot now than it was 5, 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. So I think it's important to, definitely understand who you are, understand what you want, constantly communicate those things up front within the first date, telephone call or whatever, so you won't find yourself wasting time 6 months, 8 months, a year into it, and then you find out something that really you should have known within the first 30 days of the relationship. So, like I said, I heard somebody say 6 months or so. I treat it like a credit report. Don't make a payment for 90 days and see what happens. So I think everybody, have to really know who they are. I do agree with Sobach, two like personalities make a better blend than opposites attract. I think women use that because they like the bad boy image, but for the most part, you want somebody that is just as boring as you or just as exciting as you, because you have something in common and you can build from that. But just expect each person to evolve and change as they get older. And what we being exciting today may not be exciting tomorrow. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I want to give a shout out to Alexander. Thank you for coming, my dear. I see that you've been coming through and supporting me here on other channels and panels, and I really appreciate that. So I am sending you a little chat now. And of course, Marquez, darling. How you doing, my dear? If you can tell me where that's from, I got you on something, okay? If you don't tell nobody, I know y'all know where that's from, but
I know where that's from. That's from a struggle stream.
Wait, don't say it. I want Marcus to tell me where it comes from, because he's the one with the name. I want to see if he knows. I know you know, Smitty. I know you know, so I don't have to worry about that. But now I'm just going to go in the order that everybody came in. So Jay did come in, and Jay, it's your turn. If you have a channel, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell people where we can find you. And what are your thoughts? What do you think vetting is to you? Besides what everything was said on the panel already, what do you have to add to it? Are you there, Jay?
Jay got the headset on. That nigga's on Xbox.
Oh, he's probably playing the video game too at the same time. All right, that's cool. We'll go over Jay and we'll come back to him.
See,
Smitty,
PlayStation can connect to StreamYard, basically. He can maybe
I text you and I needed your email so I can send you an invite to StreamYard, but you never responded, babe. Yes.
Oh, my bad. A nigga be busy. It's a lot of things that go on in my life every day.
I know.
My bad. I always respond whenever I'm available.
I know that. That's why I'm calm, cool, and collective, boss. How you doing, Simon? Good evening, sir. I got to go over this with you, sir. Yeah, you one of them. Okay. Number 1, no over talking others, especially moi, the host. Number 2, I hear you laughing. No sign language whatsoever. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. And lastly, stay on topic. You have the 3-strike rule. The first time I warn you. The second time I firmly warn you. The third time I drop you. I'm not doing these 5-hour shows. I was very tired last week and I had to actually take a 3-hour PTO time to go take a nap. I do not work well when I'm tired. So my max is 2 hours. My ultimate max, no, my max is, the goal is 2 hours. My max is 2.5 and my tap out is 3. Anything over 3 is not happening. Y'all could still run the show, but I know Embrace is going to go to bed. So that's what's going to happen. So we're going to do it one more time for you, Simon, because you seem to, learn. You have a hard head. Number 1, no over talking others, especially moi, the host. Number 2, no sign language whatsoever. If you guys know, you know. If you don't, go look it up. And number 3, we will be staying on topic and we will be getting the 3-strike rule. Nothing personal. I will bring you back if you behave, but if I got to drop you the second time, we'll try again next time. And there go my queen. She is the reason why I'm having this show tonight. How you doing? Take heed to the message. She was doing her show. She was talking about how us women, we need to vet more. We need to do better on picking our partners. And I totally agreed with her. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to take it a little bit further. We tell people what to do, but now we got to show them how to do it. if we expect change. So take heed. This message is dedicated. This show is dedicated to you. Thank you for the topic. I learned a lot, and hopefully we can get others to embrace this. So with that being said, Smitty, introduce everybody where we can find you, and let's get moving and tell me what you think is vetting to you. Jay, I came to you, but you weren't there, so we're gonna come back to you. Okay?
I think I'm gonna let Jay butt in line because I'm kind of feeling.
Okay. How you doing, Quantum? Thank you for coming.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay. Introduce yourself and what do you think? What is your impression of what vetting is?
Hey everybody, my name is Jay Takashi. How y'all doing? Speak Japanese, all yada yada. Here to support Grace. Enough said. What's your question? What's your question again, Grace? What is vetting to you? What is your impression of vetting? My impression. And if you don't know, that's okay, because that's what this show is about. We're gonna talk about vetting and how to do it, why we do it. It's what's so funny? I put it in hand to hand with courting. I think the only difference for me is just because I think you vet. Okay, I'll say this. I think you vet before you court. So you're vetting this person to see if this person fulfills out your quota of everything that you want in a relationship. It's somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. It's that simple. And like I said, make sure you have the same values. Your values align with one another, and more so your responsibilities align with one another. And then after that, you gotta. I'm not gonna say a woman needs to get the feels or whatever, but she just needs to. She gets that sense of feeling from him, then you guys do a test run, then that's what sets it up. And I think the time period for when you vet, you continue to vet regardless of anything. Man and woman, you both vet. You make sure that he's consistent, and you make sure she's consistent. All right, I'll end it there, Grace. On to the next person, so we can keep this keep your format the way you want it.
Thank you. I mean, it seems well. Let's let Smitty talk, and then I'll say my thought. Smitty, introduce yourself and give me what you think vetting is.
Okay. First of all, would it smell like fragrance?
Who, me?
That means hello. That means hello.
Oh. I'm good. I'm just a little nervous. My baby's about to catch a flight to Florida, and I won't be good until the package has been delivered. So, you know what I'm saying?
Question, Gracie, about that, because I heard you speaking while I was pulling up, and then I'll get to my piece on this. What age, and I'm not talking about what you will say out your mouth, I'm talking about with your heart of hearts, will feel comfortable to no longer say, this is our birthday? At what age will you fall back as mom and say, son, it's you now? Comfortably.
I think this is going to be the last one.
Really?
I won't force him when he's 19 to spend his birthday with me. Oh, especially when he's 21, when he can go, drink. So I think this will be the last one, him turning 18. Now, knowing him, he would want to spend his birthday with me and then maybe do his thing later on that night. But I think this will be the last one. I really have to get him off the nipple, and cut the umbilical cord, because he's getting older. He's not going to want to hang out with mom. See, we have a tradition. He don't go to school. I don't go to work. So we go to breakfast. We go to the barber shop, get him a haircut. We go to the mall, get him a new fit. And then we go out to dinner. And I guess this is the Italian side of him. He's never really wanted any parties. He just wants to go out to dinner. And I allow him to invite up to 5-6 friends. And then, of course, all our family. So he's very basic. He had big parties when he was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But after 6, that little kid, all he likes to do is sit down and have dinner with the family. So that's what Grace, we're gonna do. You
about to make me cry, Grace. Y'all need to always continue that tradition, man. Cause that's beautiful right there. Like that bond. Know what I mean?
He gets a pedicure too. We go get pedicures
that's
because
beautiful.
I got to get them feet right for him. You know,
That's
I mean,
beautiful,
but I want to keep it as long
Making
as I
them
can,
soft,
but I
Gracie.
don't want to do it forcefully. So Smitty has a good point. I don't want to now if he calls me, because I asked him, hey, we could celebrate your birthday on Saturday. He was like, nah, my birthday's on Tuesday. I know he wanted to get out of going to school too, but that's okay because we don't work and we don't go to school. We don't do nothing on his birthday or my birthday. We just spend it together because I love Mother's Days, guys. But if you actually think about it, April 9th was the day I became a mother. That was the day my life. That was the day my life changed and has never been the same since. Them 33 hours of pushing out that big ass watermelon head, it changed me as a woman, as a person. So April 9th to us is a national holiday. Right, Mr. Best?
Yes, it is. Yes,
that's
it
my
is,
son's twin.
Yes,
Smitty, did you know that that Best and Jordan share the same birthday?
I don't forget much, Gracie.
Okay.
Reese.
I want to give a quick shout out to Vaughn. Like I said, I'm going to do better giving shout outs, bump writing it in the chat. You know, I'm trying to be better, guys. So we still in Soul Plane right now. We still building it as we fly. We're going to upgrade the Spirit. And when we become JetBlue and Delta, then that's, you know, we on track. But shout out to Vaughn. Shout out to Simon. Who else walked in the door? Alexander, all of y'all, thank you, shout out. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe, share, do whatever y'all gotta do, drop a cash app. All right, Smitty, let's get to you. Tell people where we can find you and what is vetting to you.
Respect. Well, you always know, Gracie, you can catch me here. You can catch me over there with Soap in the game. And you can also catch me anywhere where peace and solitude resides. So, vetting. I don't know if anybody's, tapped in on it yet, if I missed that part. But if so, I'm going to reiterate my piece. Before you as a man, before you as a woman, say, I am going to go ahead and vet.
Damn. What happened? He pressed too many buttons. He'll be right back, guys. Don't worry about it. He probably pressed too many. There you go. He pressed too many buttons. Hold on.
I did. I was trying to adjust the phone and hit that red X. So when it comes to vetting, right? And anybody who's heard me enough now, you have heard me say time and time again, know oneself. Okay, so vetting. How does knowing oneself help you with vetting others? Because I am a firm believer that you're not even capable of picking out the proper partner unless you know yourself. Okay? You got to know you first, so you know what you want to look out for and what you don't want to deal with. I've heard many stories from ladies, and no, ladies, I'm not picking on you, it's just I've never dated men. So I've heard many stories from ladies on how they, when they give you the background on the type of dudes they've dated, I've heard everything from I've been with a lawyer, I've been with a doctor, I've also been with a firefighter, I've been with street niggas before. I also dated a homeless dude. I dated a guy that was in a nursing home. So my point is, what I had, kind of clicking out, what I've gathered from that after years of hearing it is you're floating around and you're with this kind of guy, that kind of guy, because you're hoping to find yourself through that person because you have yet to do it. That's how you wound up with all those different kind of people. See, me, I have a type, a very specific type, from complexion, features, all the way down to personality and everything else. I have a very specific type, right? Because I know me and I know what I want. See, I don't have to worry about being in a relationship and later on down the line, I'm saying to myself, man, I'm not even attracted to this person. Well, why'd you get with him in the first place? Did you not know yourself well enough? Or were you just desperate? You see? So the first part of that would be definitely know yourself. And then when it comes to vetting, honestly, there is no real deep answer for that. Ask the right questions and don't be scared to do it. You know what question I ask women? When
What's that? Give me a good question.
Watch this. Something I don't think most men ask. I don't know. Maybe you do, fellas. At some point, it ain't right out the gate, but at some point, I always ask, so what was your relationship with like your dad or your brothers and stuff? Because I want to know how you handle men in your life.
That's
Fellas,
a good
do you
question.
ever ask women that question? When you're dating a woman and you're getting to know her, do you ever ask her, so what's the relationship like with you and the men in your family? You guys get along? You should listen to that answer. That can probably help you roadblock a lot. You see? So honestly, when it comes to vetting, my answer is really, believe it or not, very simple. Ask the right questions. And what are the right questions? The ones none of us ever want to talk about or ask. Everything that's not easy and fun.
Facts.
Everything that don't have everything that's the polar opposite of what's your favorite color.
There you go.
Nah, you need to ask the right questions. And I'm not talking about, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't know. I've heard this in the spaces to land it. I don't go all on that credit score shit. I ain't never had a woman ask me how much I make. I just tell her what I do for a living, and they see how I live, and then they judge from there. I never have to show a pay stub. I never have to talk about these things. That's why a lot of these things baffle me when I hear it online, because I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm in the real world. But yeah, definitely ask the right questions. Make sure you get to the meat and bones of that shit early. Don't get all comfortable. Wait till y'all have sex and find out that she cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Nigga, that's your problem. That's your fault. That's why your clothes got bleached. That's why your PlayStation got thrown off the balcony. That's why your tires got flashed. Because you didn't ask the right questions from Jump Street. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie.
Smitty, you know who need to be at this show right now? PA. You know, with them 3 females he talked about that fucked him over.
PA don't vet. He don't vet. He pays and leaves. Give me my shit. Okay? All right? He does his thing. You know what I'm saying? And then that nigga go ahead and rolls out, man. At least from, you know, the whole perspective of, you know, when he's out traveling about doing his thing. Now, as far as PA on a married man status, I ain't gonna lie. I'm saying it right now, and I say it to PA. I can't see that shit. I would think I'm dreaming if I saw PA on one knee. But who knows? Who knows? The man might surprise us one day. I'm dead ass.
Right?
I'm going to feel the ground to see if hell froze over if I see PA on one knee. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie.
All right. So one last panelist, and then we're definitely going to move on. Okay. How you doing, Gary D? The mute monster bit you.
There we go. Right?
Okay. Yep. We can hear you now. Oh, shout out to No Cat. How you doing, my dear? Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. All right, Gary. So real quick, I did have to go over some rules because things were getting a little bit out of control the past couple shows. I'm gonna go over them real quick with you, and we're gonna reiterate it because I have to nip this shit in the bud now, because when I blow up, I ain't gonna have time to do all this administration shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put it out there in the universe. So with that being said, it's number 1. We are not over talking others, especially moi, the host. Okay? I know my peoples get possessive and they jump in right there to try to protect me, and that's what y'all do, and I appreciate it. But let me try to handle it first, and then if it gets out of control, then you know my boys who have access do what they do. Number 2, Gary. No sign language whatsoever. And everybody knows they know. No shame, insult, guilt, or the need to be right here. We don't play that shit. This is a Kevin Samuels motivated show. If you didn't know, y'all better ask somebody. And number 3, to cut the 5-hour foolery, because I fucked up last week at work and had to take a 3-hour PTO to go take a nap because I was tired as hell. We are going to stay on topic. You'll have a 3-strike rule. If you stay off topic number 1, I warn you. If I stay off topic at number 2, I put Smitty best on y'all. And number 3, I just drop you because ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? 2.5 hours is the goal. 2 hours is the goal. 2.5 hours is the max, but 3 hours is my cap out. I'll leave and y'all could still run the show, but I know Embrace is gonna leave. So that's what I went over real quick. So now with that being said, let people know where we can find you, and then give me what your impression is about vetting, and then I'm gonna go in and start with the information, so then we can bust it wide open. Go ahead, Gary.
What's up, everyone?
That was not feminine. I'm sorry. That was not very feminine. That was not very feminine of me. So we can go ahead and get started with the show, ladies
New
and
York,
gentlemen.
Gracie, you don't count. You see, New York chicks get a little leeway when it comes to slipping up on the
No,
feminine.
but that's an excuse. A man told me that one time, Smitty.
Smitty
said no. You using
blood.
I know. I know. Go ahead, Gary.
What's up, everyone? This is Gary D. So you can find me on Boardwalk Global Media across all platforms. Also, I got a new radio show that I co-host called Still 90s Radio every other Friday. That's from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. As far as vetting, oh man, vetting is definitely very, very important, especially when you're getting to know someone, or you're interested in this person being girlfriend or boyfriend. I've learned you have to know what you want, but also you got to ask the right questions. But here's the problem. Nowadays, a lot of these women, they don't want to talk. And even some men, they don't want to talk, right? So it's like, oh, let's go. Let's just take it slow and see let's take it slow and see how things go. To me, and you've heard me say this many times on the show, having the real conversation, right? Now, the real conversation doesn't necessarily have to start immediately, but at least when you start talking to someone, conversation, it sort of dictates how things are going to flow. I want a stimulating conversation. Let me know what you're about, right? I mean, for those people that know how to have conversations and ask the right questions, or ask questions that's going to have someone talk, they can reveal a lot about themselves without them directly telling you, right? And I think that's important, because I mean, look, people talk about getting into, how did I pick this person? How did I pick that person? A lot of people don't take the time out to really have the real conversation, to really vet, because you would pay attention. If you took the time out to really vet, ask the right conversations, have the real conversations, see if you and this person actually fit, then you would know. But the other problem is that, some people, they see the red flags and they deliberately ignore the red flags. But I just want to land by saying it's important to have the real conversations. And if someone doesn't want to have the conversation, then that's probably not someone you want to deal with. But then again, you have so many people that's product of toxic relationships, toxic behavior. So, you know, they go right back into that, right? They may say, and I know we all have heard this, oh, I want this person, I want that person, I want this, but then look what you wind up dating. Anyway, I land my plane.
Okay, good. You guys are doing good. You're landing that plane. You're making me think of my son, him taking a plane. But that's good. That's good. I'm kind of like impressed that all you men on the panel know what the hell vetting is, and I'm thinking that most, you know, I can't say most because these younger men don't know what the hell courting or vetting is, but why is it that y'all not doing it? Why isn't it that it's not happening? I mean, I'm not going to get off traffic too long, but it seems like it's not happening because everybody walking around talking about niggas ain't shit. I can't find a good man. Bitches ain't shit. Got hoes, you know, they all hoes. They for the streets. I mean, we all sound like we know what the hell we talking about and what vetting is. And I get it. We have different ages here. And everybody gave a great answer and even gave examples. But if I was to go out in the streets and do a survey, do you think everybody would get answers like you guys did? Or is it that, you know, y'all had embraced this and are a little above the ladder? Because I didn't expect all of you. I mean, you guys hit everything that I have on these goddamn index cards. You know, each and every one of y'all hit one side or another. So why is it not happening? Quick answer. We're gonna go around the panel and then I'm gonna get into my shit. We're gonna start with best and go around the panel. You guys sounded like y'all know what the hell y'all talking about. You know what to do, why to do it, and how to do it, but it seems like it's not getting done. What's going on, Best?
Grace, you in your New York bag tonight, girl. I see you. Let me say this, right? I feel it.
My Yankees won, baby. It's baseball season.
Spread in the news. Okay. The reason why it's happening is the key reason that you said age, right? You gotta understand this is in our dating market now is a lot different than it was, you know, before this big technology boom that we have, right? Because now with technology, you have 3 different sets of age, right? So you got those who are 18 to 34. They date way differently than everybody else, right? They date differently. They dress differently. Their music is different. They do everything different. You know what I mean? I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying a lot of them do, all right? And a lot of music and stuff they be listening to and the way they be moving, I don't know none of these people. Like, I don't know nothing that they do. If you ask me what 18 and 34-year-olds do, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm lost, right? Now, if you go from 35 to, I would say, 55 or whatever, right? You go to the middle-aged people, right? We date differently. We don't date the same way that the youngest date. Yeah, let's go, Grace. Know what I mean? We date differently. We don't look at life the same way. Know what I mean? We not old school completely, but we have a lot of old school values, right? The younger generation don't really got that. They ain't really listening to no Isley Brothers and nothing like that. Know what I mean? They don't know about no Keith Sweat, and if they do, they probably like heard a sample from DJ Khaled or something like it's a lot different. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They may not know certain things, right? And I'm throwing a music reference just as a point. You know what I mean? As an overarching point. So just the way that they view things in their value system is just different, right, from us. Then you got the old heads, right? You got the, you know, the Uncle Fergs in them, right? The older cats, right? They view life way different, right? You know you view life different. You know you do, Ferg. Don't even try it because you do, right? They view life
Gen X, baby.
Huh? How old are you, Uncle Ferg? My bad.
Gen X, baby. Just turned 56 in February. Come on, catch up, fellas. It's beautiful over here.
Okay, so yeah, so like I said, 56 and above, right? 56 and above. They view life differently. I'll say 56 to 70, 75 or whatever, right? They view life differently. They're gonna date differently. They're not gonna date like me and Grace or a youngin', right? They're not gonna date like us. They're gonna date differently. They have different core values. They have seen things in life that we have never seen. You know what I mean? They was around before the internet, way before the internet. They was around, you know what I mean? Maybe before the internet was popular, they were around and they were moving and grooving a certain way. You You know what I'm saying? So their lifestyle is different. How they move is different. So when you have 3 different age groups moving around the same time, even if you did that survey, Grace, and you went to a mall and you asked somebody that was 19 who listened to 21 Savage, you know what I mean, who listens to the drill music, who on that type of demon time, you know what I mean, and he moving and grooving, and he may be sexually ambiguous, right? He may be dating men and women, right?
I think I'm gonna do it best when we go to the mall on Jordan's birthday. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just grab people from the mall and see what I get.
But you're gonna see how the answer is gonna be different, right? You're gonna see it because the age thing is a factor. It is. I don't care what nobody says. Age is a factor because age comes with experience and non-experience. It just is. Now, sometimes you have anomalies, right? But for the most part, the age is a factor. Salute to my music curator, Von Eric. I see you, dog. Blessings all. You know what I mean? So,
Thank you.
that age is a factor, and I think that's really the reason why you see more of different things. And plus, let's be honest, when you look on the internet, right? If you watch a lot of internet content creators, what we see on there, we see youngins. You don't be seeing nobody like your age and my age on there. We're not there. We're working. You know what I'm saying? We working, or we taking care of kids, or we got other stuff to do. The older generation, they taking care of kids. They got other stuff to do. They're not on the internet. But the youngins run the internet. The 18 to 34-year-olds, they run the internet. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what you're gonna get. That's the audience that's gonna be more privy to what you see on TikTok and everything else. Because every time I see them dating videos, I see youngins. I don't see nobody really older. And that's just the truth. And I'm gonna land it there.
Okay. I mean, you got to understand that these kids are socially awkward. So now we're asking them to have conversations. We're asking them to ask questions. They don't even know their freaking grammar and punctuation without autocorrect. So I get it. You know, maybe I got to go out there and do some work on the field and I'm going to do it. I'm going to come back and bring, you know, the intel, and we're going to dissect it. Okay, because I'm gonna have my son videotape me, and then we're gonna talk about it. All right, Unc. I'm about to join you, Unc. I turned 50 this year, the big 50. So I'm gonna be there. I'm there. I'm kind of nervous. I'm tiptoeing around it, but hey, it is what it is. So what say you, Unc? I'm very impressed of the fact that my panel here, my embracers, totally embrace what vetting is. But why are we not doing it? Why are men not doing it more? Why are all the Pookie and Ray Rays still being Pookies and Ray Rays?
Grace, I'm gonna change up the word. You said socially awkward. I'm gonna say that they're socially disconnected. The socialization of us is sort of been stripped from us, and everybody's walking in their own little lane, their own little pocket. Nobody looks at each other in the eye. Nobody says hello, how you doing, what's up, you know what I'm saying? It's more like looking at each other like we don't even like each other. The light skin and the dark skin. There's no way that we should be in a situation where we are struggling socially and building relationships. You know, it may not, what I have to say, it may not come off good to a lot of, especially guys, because especially you 21, 22, the world is yours, and you have to be looking at the world for what it is for you. It may take you to, you know, work out. Listen, I don't know, it's just stuff I did. It always worked. Just work out, eat right, spend money wisely, don't blow all your money, because if you're making decent, if you're making 40, 50,000, you can live like a king right here. You just got to be doing it in spurts. You can't go out turning up bottles every Friday, Saturday. You know, you just can't do it. As far as women, if you see something you like, you know, you talk to her, you say hello, tell her, introduce yourself. If you ain't, most guys, we know what type of woman that we see, whether they like us based off how we look. We know we look funny as hell. You got to find somebody to sort of, you know, and women look at
yourself, Punk. This man right here is gorgeous.
Yes, and exactly. That's the way you're supposed to be, my brother. Automatically. You feel me, what I'm saying then. Some guys, you know, they got to get there. But just, what are you going to do if you're 21 down to 41? Because it's a blessing to get to 41. You just work on yourself, man. And really, the world is opened up now. The country's opened up more. You're already doing the stuff you need to do. Especially, Soapbox mentioned that age group, 18 to 34. I'll just go with that. Because at 34, you're supposed to be a grown man by checking the boxes of a grown man. You have some integrity, you have some accountability, you have some self-awareness, some self-confidence. You have your own stuff. You ain't still borrowing from people like, man, can I borrow this and borrow that? It's not a man. You done stop wearing tennis shoes all day with your jeans with no belt. You got some dress slacks and tie, and you're putting on some Kevin Samuels attire, and you're going out, and you're smiling, you got your fresh cologne collection. All that plays a part in being a man.
Facts.
You got to look at women for what, listen, man, if you got 3 women a year, that's a good year. If you see it. If you get 5 or 6, you doing great. And if a man is not dating anybody, he's choosing not to do that for the most part. And that's a good thing for men. That's why I say, protect yourself, because you see, y'all already saying what the women, y'all talking about your sisters and your cousins and aunties anyway. So y'all see them pulling up, talk to them. I mean, you just got to be who you are, confident in yourself. Ask the questions up front. Ask those deep questions like Smitty. The top 4 in divorce is sex, money, religion, children. Now, it might be some new ones out there now because y'all, I don't know. It might be some new ones out there.
Well, I'm gonna find out for you, okay?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask these young people what is vetting to them, and if they know what vetting is, well, what kind of questions do you ask when you're vetting? That's what I'm gonna do. And I just want to give a big a big shout out to Von Erich. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you for supporting me and embracing me in the family. Travel One, thank you for coming through. I mean, you don't stay long, but you always make sure your presence is here, and that I appreciate. And I got to read this comment real quick. It's a good comment. Over 70% of us are raised by our moms. In VAS, we grew up with an imbalance of femininity and masculinity, which is maybe why men like in the chat and men on the panel are rare. Again, everything goes back. Every talking point that we talk about, all the foolery that's going on and the breakdown of our society is the single mother epidemic. We have allowed them to fulfill their agenda. We have allowed them to divide and conquer. And that is the main agenda that they have been doing since the Jim Crow days, since the 60s, is to divide and conquer the melanated community. And they are succeeding, and they are still succeeding till this day. And this is why content creators like me and Beth and Gary and Smitty and anybody else out there, we're trying to make it be known that this is one of the core factors that why we're not winning. We don't have that family structure. If they could have got married, they were getting married during slavery times. They were getting families during slavery times, and they didn't have everything that we have right now and all the resources. Why can't we do it? Why is our divorce? Why is 1 out of 4 every Black woman only getting married? Why is 80% of all our babies are getting out of wedlock? When there was slavery and we was back then and we didn't have all these resources, we really stuck together. And I know I'm getting off track, so I'm getting back on it. I'm getting my back self on it. Yes, sir.
Gracie, let me help you out, son. All right. So again, some things in life are really not that deep. When you look too deep into a puddle, the only thing you see is your own reflection. When it comes to why, like whatever percentage of women is not married, kids out of wedlock, all this other stuff, Gracie, honest to God, it's a choice. Man was given something that we keep on neglecting because we use it so much every day, we forget that we actually have it. It's called free will. It was instilled in every single human born from the second you took your first inhale. And it will be with you until the moment you take your very last exhale. All right? Right before the soul reaches the collarbone. What?
Smitty, you wouldn't say is learned behavior too? They learn from Big Mama? They learn from their mama?
The reason why I would say no is because we have too many examples of those who was the rose in the concrete that grew. We have too many examples of those who grew up in them circumstances, and you know what they said? Now, if they have a married family, a home and everything else, good career, I didn't want that. They chose to not want what the legacy of their past family members was producing, which was probably dysfunction, a lot of violence, maybe, I don't know, abuse, things of that nature. Some, and not even some, many grow up and they say to themselves, I don't want that for mine. There are a whole lot of people who said, my pops wasn't there for me, so I'm gonna be there for mine. They're there for their kids extra because their peoples wasn't there for them. So they know what it's like. So what I'm saying is that because I have seen endless examples of that right there, I've seen whole fields of roses on streets growing through cracks. And I can tell you right now, it's really showing me it's a choice.
Okay.
You either want, because see, what it is this to land it. Honestly, like, think about it. From everyday 9 to 5, and everybody want to be this entrepreneur boss. You know why everybody says that? Because it's really just the cover up for, I don't want to work. I don't want to do shit. Really, I'm lazy as shit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on this wild goose chase witch hunt, and that's not for everybody. There are some of us who become very successful in what we do, and hats off to you. But like, there are a lot of people who throw up all that boss B, I'm a businessman, all of this other shit, entrepreneur. Because really, that's really a cover up for saying I don't like to work. Promise you. That's all they're really saying. Most, I'd say about 80%. 80%. They're just telling you they don't like to work. So my point is, to get back to it, right? Circle back. When it comes to even relationships, vetting and scouting, guess what? You know what work is? Anything that takes your time, anything that causes you to invest time
and effort
in. And guess what? That's why don't nobody want to ask the right questions. That's why don't nobody want to vet right. That's why a lot of shit is effed up, because honestly, truly, if you really get to the meat and bones of it, matter of fact, fuck that. Get to the bone marrow of it. Niggas is just lazy. Don't nobody want to do nothing, and everybody want to make sure they don't hurt nobody's feelings. Well, I don't have nothing to say to you niggas about that. I know my life is great. I know I wake up in peace and bliss. Why? Because I move and I operate a certain way. And why is that? Because of my free will. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie.
I want to give a quick shout out to Lost in Translation. Thank you for coming in. I was trying to come to your show, but I was working on my show. But thank you for showing up. Okay. So with that being said, go ahead, Bess.
If I may say something real quick to that point.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna make it super brief. I think, yes, there are anomalies in everything, right? So we see people who can, who do well and who don't do well, whatever, based on circumstances. And some people are good in careers and things of that nature. Like Smitty was saying, we have anomalies and everything. But I think we have to stop basically giving people, an out for just being ain't shit people, right? So if she's a trifling, ain't shit broad, and she don't want to take care of her kids, and she rather get her hair done than take care of her kids, and she just an ain't shit person. Just like a guy who don't want to take care of his kids, and he want to be out there, and he want to, be gambling or messing with other broads or spreading his seed and making all these other kids that he's not going to take care of. He just ain't shit dude. You know what I mean? So I think in our community, we just have to hold people who are just not caring about their children, who are not really going to take care of their children. You got to hold them accountable to that. You know what I mean? We can't just let women who are not taking care of their kids and just be like, oh, it's all women, or it's just women that are women, single parent women, single parent households are bad if it's a woman or if it's a man or whatever. No, these are just people who just ain't shit, and they're not taking care of their kids. You know what I mean? If you take care of your kids, you love your kids, you're gonna take care of them. It don't matter if it's just you and 5 kids. It don't matter if it's you or 3 kids. It don't matter about none of that. Do you love your kids or you don't? You know what I'm saying? That's really what it boils down to. So if it's women out there who don't love their kids, they ain't shit parent. They're not shit. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Hold on. I want to try something best. Let me see if I know what I'm doing. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Oh shit.
There you go. Okay. There you go.
I just don't know. Okay. There you go. You see, I don't know how to stop it. Hold on. Okay. That deserved that.
Thank you. And of course, thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. And of course you want a household with 2 functional parents. But once you have a kid and your child comes into the world, your responsibility as an adult is to take care of that kid. Point blank, period. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't get into that gender shit. If you have a child, be an adult and take care of that child. That's it. You know what I mean? And if you can't take care of that child, there's adoption places. Try to give it to another family member. Figure it out. You know what I mean? But there should be no reason that child is without love, without being taken care of. And that's all I got to say.
I know that's right. That's right. Okay, we're going to take it to Jay, and then we'll finish up with Gary, and then I'm definitely going to get into my index cards. Okay, because, I'm looking at the time too. Go ahead, Jay. So why is it that all of y'all knew what the hell vetting was? You answered the question, great, but why is it not being done?
Oh, well, I'll shorten it up. First of all, because I know everybody, all the men up here gave good points. I'm not shitting on y'all answers because I agree with the answers, the majority of it. But I'm shortening it up for Grace because she got a schedule to keep up. Now, let me say this. First of all, I think I'm lucky with how I've turned out because I have old school implemented in me. I can never talk enough about how lucky I am not to have the mindset of this new generation that's pretty not working well because, they're socially awkward, like you said before. They don't know how to speak. Honestly, none of them really speak to girls like how we had to speak to, and things like that. And it's just it's social anxiety too. They have that too, where they're afraid of being rejected because the climate now is you try to ask a girl out, man, you clowning, you get clowned on, it gets put up TikTok or something like that. Like I said, it's a new way of humiliating, bullying, and embarrassing someone. Which back in the day, it would just be the crowd of people who knew you that would do that. So what I'm noticing a lot with the younger generation that I talk to now, it's just that they lack a spine and a backbone to really speak, and their only means of communication is this shit right here.
Mm-hmm.
All they do is text. They don't want to talk to somebody face to face. They're scared of rejection, and overall, they weren't taught this. It was more along, yo, man, just back in the day, your boys are happy, man. Yo, man, go speak to her, bro, man. You like her, man. You like Cindy, man, right? Go talk to her, bro. Like that's how our boys would get our dudes to talk to their girls and whatever. Like 2 of my dudes got married off that. So that just shows you the era we're in now, as opposed to back then. And like I said, it's more tribute to the time. And people, like I said, people are just getting away from each other. There's no community. I don't give a damn what anyone says. There's no community. There's no bonding, and there's not an attempt to teach these younger generation kids to really speak for themselves in confidence. Like in college, you learn public speaking. I have yet to see these young generation that actually walk up and speak to me, unless they was like a little kid. That's because that kid is naive and doesn't know what they're doing, but they're still speaking to me regardless. And it's like, how does that little kid have more nerve than you do? He's 8 years old and you're freaking 16, 17. Yep. and you can't really, like, you're afraid of forming a sentence around people, and it's just like people are just so closed off. And like I said, if anything, they're becoming more sheep than they are people to me. At least for me, that's how I'm seeing it. And the last thing I'll end it off with is, Mr. Best, you're wrong about that. I know all about Johnny Gill, Keith Sweat, all that shit. I listen to all that shit, bro. I'm a real 90s kid. Can nobody tell me I hit Glenn Jones? I hit that Glenn Jones and that Howard Hewitt harder than anybody.
Ooh.
So ain't nobody gonna tell me that.
I know that's
30,
right. I know that's right.
32 years old, so I got an excuse. So yeah.
Okay.
Remember, I said some of y'all. I didn't say all of y'all. I said some of y'all. Okay.
I'm messing with you, H4. I'm messing
Shout out
with
to
you.
your pops and your
Love
mom
you,
for
Jay, love you.
introducing it. Shout out to your parents for introducing it to you.
All right.
Hey,
So
man,
let's.
Marvin Gaye too. I like Marvin.
Okay, that's going way back now. Let's go ahead and hear from Gary. Gary, again, I was kind of surprised. Well, no, not really, because mind-like people hang out with mind-like people, so I shouldn't be too surprised. But the fact that everybody on this panel kind of like saw my notes and knew what vetting was, but why isn't it not getting done? Why are we not vetting?
Well, I guess first let me start with this. I'm 54, so I got some years of experience. But when it comes to vetting, what taught me more about vetting was I've been a dom in BDSM for about 20 years, and in BDSM, there's a vetting process when you're getting a submissive, and it's a thorough.
Yeah, I saw that today in my research.
Right, it's a thorough vetting process, and a lot of these fake wannabes, they don't understand that. However, in real life, it's supposed to be like that, but that doesn't happen. So that's an issue there. So now for the men that have old school values, we know how to talk to a woman and court her. Nowadays, for these kids, or these young adults, as it's been said before, it's social media. They get to hide behind messaging and texting and Instagram and TikTok and all of that, right? So there's no real interaction, right? So yeah, so they're socially awkward, socially detached. So, and that's a problem. You know, that's a real problem. The third point I want to make is that people, everyone, I think we understand, is not wired the same way. So you have people that have grown up in a great family and they turn out like shit. Some people grow up in a great family and they turn out well. Some people grow up in a bad family and they turn out good because they're wired to be like, well, you know what? That shit that my mom and dad was doing, I'm not on that. I want better for my wife, for my kids, for my family. So some people, they're just not mentally wired to move beyond what they know. Because a lot of people, they've grown up in toxic households, and they carry that into their adult relationship. And there's a lot of studies that have shown that. So, but I mean, it's hats off. And I shouldn't say hats off. I tip my hat and I congratulate all those people who have come out of toxic families, but they were wired and strong enough to be like, you know what? I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to do better for my wife, for my kids, so my kids can grow up to be better, more constructive, and know how to communicate. So to circle back, dealing with vetting, I think it's social media, right? So social media plays a very important role, especially with this generation, and how they and how the generation has grown up, right? So, and I think that's a problem, and I think you ought to also mention too many of these single moms, right? And I think so. I think all of that sort of intersects and plays a role. And I stop with that.
Am I tripping or is Gracie muted?
Gracie, you muted.
Yeah, she.
Oh, okay, good. I'm not tripping for one.
He bit
once
me
in my
real
life,
hard.
man, I'm finally a winner. God damn it, Jim.
Damn, I
I'm
got
sorry.
bit hard. That's gonna leave a mark on my neck. You know I'm light skinned, so that's gonna leave a mark on my neck.
No,
What-
Gracie,
what I
thought
wanted-
my earphones that went out. That's why I couldn't hear you. I was like, wait, am I crazy?
What I wanted, what I was saying is, I just want to say thank you guys for keeping it, with the time. My time to beat now, to beat the index cards is 123, but we're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Okay, so what is vetting? Now we're going to learn the official dictionary definition. Vetting in the context of dating refers to the process of carefully assessing a potential romantic partner to determine if they're suitable for you. And I'm happy when I read that word, because when a guy will holler at me and I knew off the rip I was not interested, I would not say, well, you're not my type, because it has kind of like a negative connotation to it. I would say to him, you're just not suitable for me. And some would take it and walk away gracefully, and some will be like, well, why? And I would get into it, but not too much, because now it's going to get into a debate and you're taking time up from the guy that I really want to talk to at the other side of the room. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that they put that word in, because I thought I was the one that came up with it. But at least it confirms that I was doing the right thing. I would tell the gentleman, look, thank you, but no thank you, but you're just not suitable for me. And I think it sounds more graceful than telling a guy, nah, you're not my type. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to turn a guy down. I always get, wow, you're not stuck up. I said, oh, I know, because I'm pretty, you automatically assume that I'm stuck up. I'm not stuck up. I'll talk to you. Especially, I want to see how you come at me, because the fact that you came up and talked to me is a turn on to me right then and there, because that lets me know you're a go-getter. You saw me, you liked me, and you went after me. You see what I'm saying? Yes.
All right, hold on. So real quick, 5-second role play. I'm the guy that comes up to you. Say that what you just said when you turn the guys down. All right. And hey, how you doing today? Can I buy you a drink?
I'm good. Thank you for asking, but no, you're just not suitable for me. But thank you
Way
anyway.
too much. Stop there. Way too much. Way too much.
What do you mean, way too much?
Let the cake bake. Let the cake bake. So look, right? The only reason why I'm going to say that is because you have to take into consideration, Gracie, that actually, I believe, would be very, very suitable if we were about 15 to 20 years ago, when things were at least, semi-normal. In this day and age of all the stories I'm hearing of, like, real talk, like women who, like, turn down guys and, like, they just on some nutty shit.
A girl was just deleted in New York.
Like, listen, I'm just gonna tell you is like what I would even tell my own daughter. Keep your words to a minimum. You don't owe that man no explanation in no form or fashion. The less you say, probably better. Don't get that man no explanation as to why you're just not suitable.
Yeah, but don't you think it would set him off even more if I cut him short?
No. Watch this, Gracie. Okay, so you just said to me I'm not suitable. Okay, so I'm that nutcase. Why I ain't suitable? I mean, what you think you better or something? Or I mean, what's up with you? I mean, I just want to know. I just want to know, sweetheart. Why?
No, sir, I'm just not interested. I'm just not interested. And
I mean, but you said I'm not suitable though. So what you saying? I'm not good enough?
I mean, I see where I know the big twin, the big brother.
You see the rabbit hole that shit can go down real easy. I'm only saying this because I love you, twin.
I know. You went in big brother mode. I know. But the thing is, I'm older now, Smitty. I have changed. I don't date. You're either going to be 10 years younger than me or 10 years older. I don't date the 32, 33, 34 anymore. I had to stop that shit. Because now I'm actually looking for a relationship. So I had to go older. And what I thought was more mature, but some of these older men are more bigger babies than the younger men because they still stuck in their ways, and they used to be married and they used to have a routine with their ex, and they think that they can bring that bullshit over here. But that's neither here or there. But I do see what you're saying, but I only had an issue with that approach one time, and it's funny, guys.
The funny thing about life, Gracie, the funny thing about life is when it comes to changing it forever, all it takes is that one time. Be careful, boo. No bullshit.
You're right, because excuse me, the guy that didn't take it so well, I have to give him his flowers. He's actually the one that named this channel. Because we used to work together, and I would keep telling him no, and he would say, well, why am I not suitable? Information man show, thank you for coming through and always showing me love. I appreciate you. So let me tell you how this went down. The Smitty's he's right. And I kept saying, you're not suitable for me. I didn't want to say you're not my type. I don't date Spanish guys. I don't date light-skinned Spanish guys. And I especially don't date short, light-skinned Spanish guys. Okay? But I didn't want to say that.
That's like 80% to 90% of Spanish guys.
Okay? And
you just cut off about 90% of all Ecuadorians, Salvadorians, Mexicans, everything else, goddammit. Go ahead, Gracie, rock out.
So we're talking, and all of a sudden he turns to me. He says, "I just want to embrace the grace." I'm like, there it is. There's the name. I mean, it has much deeper meaning now. You understand what I'm saying? This was 2 years ago, but the way he reacted and said like this, "I just want to embrace the grace." I had to say, well, I'm going to show you grace and mercy, but it's still a no. And I mean, I'm not going to budge. I know what I like and I know what I want. And then he was from New York, and he reminded me a lot of me. He was, when I used to be, he was loud. He cursed a lot. I was not going to have no 5'6", light skinned Puerto Rican in the house call himself yelling and cursing at me when my son is 6'4". It just, make that make sense. It wasn't going to happen, because I was used to my ex-husband who was very quiet. Sometimes I had to, and he was 6'9". I barely used to hear him because he was so tall that he had a soft voice that I'm like, I would have to have earplugs and something to hear him sometimes. So to go from that to that, no. But Smitty, I appreciate that gem. You are right. That's the only time that it kind of went crazy. But with that being said, let's take to the notes. Understand that it goes beyond initial attraction. It goes deeper than that. It's about the values, goals, lifestyle, personality, and most important, the context of the person's character. We are investigating for a potential partner carefully. Operative word, guys, carefully. It is to make sure that they are the right person for you, for them, and for each other. And not only that, for the children and potential children. When me and my ex broke up, my son never saw anybody, because one of the main standards that you had to have is you had to have your own place. I'll go chill with you over there. I'm not bringing nobody to the house. He was already having a hard enough time getting adjusted, dad not being there. So I wasn't going to add shit to the shit pile. And out of respect for my son. See, I see a lot of moms, they don't, just because they're children and they're little people, they deserve respect as well. When I see parents smoking in front of their kids, weed, especially if they're smaller. Now, if they're older and they're 18, 19, that's different. But when I see parents, just doing inappropriate things in front of their children, I don't like it. I feel uncomfortable. I was the parent that wouldn't let my kid go to an R-rated movie. I was a parent that didn't let my son have Call of Duty. I knew he would play it at his friend's house, but it wasn't at the house. I was the parent that didn't let him have Grand Theft Auto. There's a reason why those guidelines are put in there. Children have a hard time deciphering between reality and fantasy because their age, they're not mature. And I took that very seriously because I grew up before my time, because I saw things that I wasn't supposed to see. But because, our family was so big and the age difference, you had cousins. I had cousins that were in their 20s and I was the baby. And they were taking me to Studio 54 when I was 14. And they told the guy at the door I was a midget. And that's how I got in. They dressed me up in makeup, heels, and everything. And I got into Studio 54 at 14 years old. So I was doing things that wasn't age appropriate, and it caused me to grow up faster than I should have. And I didn't want that for my son. So that's where and also what scared me was little boy did a wrestling maneuver on his little sister. I don't know if you guys ever heard this story, and it's an old story. And he ended up deleting her because he couldn't decipher between the TV wrestling and real shit, and ended up deleting his sister, not intentionally, but not knowing, and because his parents were allowing him to see that wrestling, and he practiced one of those moves. And when I heard that and saw that, I told myself, oh no, not over here. But let's talk about the benefits of vetting. Why is vetting so important? It increases clarity about your needs and desires. It increases your chances of finding a compatible partner and potentially avoiding incompatible or, at worst, risky and dangerous situations. It is important to remember that vetting doesn't have to be rigid or formal. It's an ongoing natural process within the context of getting to know somebody. I mean, really getting to know somebody. That 90-day probation, that don't count because that's just their representative. You know what I learned? When you really get to know somebody, when they're angry with you, when you're in an argument with you, see how they act, see how they talk to you, see how they bounce back from the argument. Observe that, because that's who they really are. People, I hate when, oh, I'm sorry, I was just mad, I didn't really mean that. Nah, you meant that shit. That shit was sitting in your heart, and you just didn't have the balls to say it. So it took the heat of the moment or alcohol to bring that out of you. So words matter, people. Words matter. When people say some fucked up shit to somebody and then oh, my bad, I'm sorry. No, to me, it's going to take more than just an apology. I need you to understand that those words hurt me, because words can be recorded over and over and over. And, twin, we're Scorpios. We overthink everything. And we're constantly going over the conversation. So words matter. And with that being said, taking the time to properly vet a new or potential partner is very, very important step in assuring that you choosing someone that is suitable. Make sure you do your homework. You gotta do the research, just like y'all do research on buying Jordans and buying bundles and buying a car and whatever else we do research on. It's okay to do research on that person. Y'all are gonna be, living together. Y'all are gonna be exchanging bodily fluids. Y'all are gonna be eating each other's food. Y'all gonna be one's gonna be taking a shit while the other one's trying to take a shower. If y'all can do all that, why can't y'all take the time to research each other and really vet each other so we can make better decisions, so we don't have as many divorces or broken homes? And I get it. A lot of people are going to come back and tell me, well, Grace, you can know a person for 30, 40 years and still really not know them. I'll take that. But then there's the other side of the coin. You could be with somebody with 30 to 40 years and really know them. I've known my ex-husband since I was 13 years old. And he don't even have to say nothing. And I would already know. I could go to any restaurant. I could go to any store. I could go to any place, and I knew exactly what he liked, how he liked it, where he liked it, all of that. All of that. We just have to care enough, take the time, like Smitty said, put the work in to get to know that person. Now, this is not referring to sneaky links, side chicks. I am referring this vetting process to potential, the process is girlfriend, boyfriend, then that's your man, then that's your fiance, and now you're getting married. This is applying to this. I'm not applying to the nomadic love that we live in this world now. There's Netflix and chill, there's chicken and fucking and all of this. This is being applied to people who are serious about dating and wanting to take it to the next level. This is what this show is being applied to, because this can be applied to one night stands, sneaky links, side chicks, side men. This is for somebody who really wants to find somebody and build with them and have a family with them. So taking the time to properly vet a new or potential partner is very, very important step in ensuring that choosing someone that is suitable. Make sure you do your homework and have a good understanding of who they are and what they are about. Peace of mind, Smitty, here we go. It's for your peace of mind. That's why it's worth all the effort and work. The first step is conduct, and I'm going to give you some steps. You guys can agree or not agree with them. First step, conduct a thorough online search using their full legal name and checking your state-specific websites. To the people who think it's going too much in invasion of privacy, that alone is a red flag. This is all about ensuring safety and protecting your valuable time and well-being. Some of us have children. What if they were on the national sex offender list, but you didn't take time to find out? You can find out all their information on the google.com. You can find out about a person by going through their social media, checking their Instagram out. Yes, what you got?
Grace, I just have a question. How soon or how long should a person wait before they do these intense background checks? Pre-sex, after sex, before moving in, things like that?
Well, I would like to say as soon as possible. Because I would rather know sooner than later that I'm dating a sex offender than later. I need to know now. I mean, you don't have to tell. Okay, Kareem said a good answer. Before sex, before the bodily fluids exchange. And I know I'm going to get pushback on this because people are going to be like, I'm not giving you my government name. Oh, yeah, but you can shoot out in my club, though. You see where our priorities are? It's okay to do all that. Have the most intimate moment and connection with a person, but I can't have your full government name. See, that's a red flag to me. Why? Why are you hiding? I got plenty of military and law enforcement. I got a cousin who's in the FBI. All I do is call him, shoot him a name, and boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, especially us women, we need to know who we're dealing with, especially if we're bringing them around our children. That's a big issue. Fathers too. If you're bringing them around a new woman, you want to know what her temperament is and what's going to happen when you're at work, and you leave your kid with her. I mean, there's 2 people going to jail right now where the stepmother deleted his daughter. I mean, guys, this is happening for real. And to just take time to really find out what a person's about. And y'all already know me. I need to know your credit score, because I can't build with you. Well, I can't build with you if you have the mindset that you don't want to work on your credit or learn. I don't care that your credit is low, because I happen to do that.
Hey, Gracie, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Can I ask you a question, Gracie? What you're saying, like, I totally get that. Now, the whole topic of this show tonight is about what, right?
Vetting and the art of vetting.
So, Gracie, I would say, like, if you're around a person enough, if you observe a person enough, trust me when I tell you, you can see if a person got their shit in order or not.
And you're right.
Now, of course, now for those, because I already know, just to get that out the way, yes, you do have some people who can fool you. Yes, we got our, pleasure over priority folks, out here that, you'll see them in the bins, but really they got to park it around the corner because it's going to be towed any day now. I know. I'm aware. But see, what I'm speaking on specifically is, like, Gracie, all of the, like, you having to ask all of that or say all of that. Guess what, Gracie? Guess what? If you pay attention, if you ask the right questions, now listen, you know what you do when you ask those right questions? You then sit back, you listen to their answer, you see how they respond, and then from there, you see how they follow through on the things that they said.
You're absolutely right.
It don't take long, I promise you.
You're and look, I'm gonna hit it.
15 years and 3 kids for you to recognize it.
Well, that's just foolishness. That's just I don't give a fuck.
But
I'm gonna still do what I'm gonna do.
Unfortunately, that foolishness is a very much so invasive norm. It's an invasive norm. It's a norm, but it's invasive. It's taking over every damn thing. Just like invasive species,
You're right.
So, I mean, like, the whole thing about, like, what his credit score is and everything else. Be around that man long enough, Gracie. You'll see if his shit's in order. You'll see if he goes from taking you to, from a steakhouse dinner on the first date, 2 months later, he asking you to cash app him $30 for gas so he can get to work. You will see, I promise you, shit just unfolds. What do we say all the time? Let a person talk long enough. Guess what? Also, let a person walk long enough. You'll see where the flaws in their steps are.
And Smitty, I feel you on that.
You smell me?
However, I'm not going to use the word but, because if I use the word but, it negates everything you just said.
You have to say booty. I know, Gracie. Or is that just me?
I'm about to be 50. I'm getting it in early. You see, maybe somebody that's maybe 20, 30, and even your age, they have time 3-6 months to observe behavior. Me, I'm not getting it in on the first date, or not even. It probably if I'm really feeling him, maybe 2-3 months, but I'm not gonna wait 6-9 months and sit and observe.
Let me help you out, right? To land it. It looked like Uncle Ferg wanted to tap in here too. Look. At 41, shout out to all my 80s babies. Home of Light Bright and Teddy Ruxpin. Anyway.
Light Bright?
Anyway, you're not us. That's why you said that, because you're not us.
I was born in 74.
Right there. I promise you, everybody from my era knows exactly what I just said. So now, Look, when it comes to like, if you're going to, you know, I guess you can say ask those questions, Gracie, just make sure that you recognize that when you ask those questions, more than likely, because everybody's in this state of putting up a mask, you're not going to get the answer that you need and or want. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get fluff.
Of
You wanna know
course.
why? Because nobody, when you ask them a question like that, so you got to understand, everybody is in reverse interrogation mode. You can't ask the most simple shit to people without them feeling like you're interrogating them. What is this, 21 questions?
Well,
50
that's a
Cent?
red. Then that's a red flag. Then, because if we're in the middle of getting to know each other, and you getting in your feelings about me asking you questions, then to me, right there is a red flag. But Smitty, I'm slick with it. The fact
That's
that I
not a
help
red
you,
flag. That's a like right there in your face. They're telling you directly, look, it's something there I don't want you to see and or know.
then that's a
That's
red
not
flag.
a red flag is a hint. That's in your face. We have to
Okay.
know how to make these, differentiate. Know how to differentiate these things. That's all.
And the thing is, I'm slick with it because I do credit repair. I bring it
Mhm.
up as like, yeah, one of my jobs is I help people fix credit. So then I look at his body language and his response. He was like, oh, okay, you do credit? Well, maybe you can help me with mine. Right there, he just gave me his answer, but I like his answer because he is willing to do something about it. He asked for help. So he's workable. He's coachable. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I
Okay.
get it.
But these questions that you need to ask people, sometimes they need to flow naturally. Like there's a lot of
But you
questions
know
that I
what's
make.
wild? Gracie,
Ho-
and I'm going,
ho-
and I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No. Finish your thought.
All right. Gracie, the first thing my father told me when I was on my way home, I was 14 years old. I got my first actual pay stub check. I was working at a deli. I was working at Corey's Deli. And he told me on the ride home, I was so happy. I had my little punk ass $175. I was so damn happy. Oh my goodness gracious. And he said, don't tell your friends how much you got paid. Don't ever tell nobody how much you got paid. Don't ever talk to nobody, not your friends, nobody about your finances. I know I'm not the only one that grew up hearing that. So all I'm saying is that I'm just saying, Gracie, like me, as one of the men of the old law, if you was to ask me that, I think you was trying to like scam me and get my goddamn bank account. Because it wouldn't register to me. Why are you asking me that? Because the way that I personally was raised, because you said you date men, around that age frame. So in my head, I'm saying to myself, man, my father told me never tell nobody what's on my check. And that stuck with me to this day. I don't talk to nobody about what's on my check, dog. Don't ask me that. The only thing you need to know is that I'm not asking nobody for shit. You know I'm good when you continuously look around and see everything straight and I'm never asking for shit. That's all you need to know.
Okay, I mean, to each his own, because now that's making me wonder, well, how did you get everything? Is it legal, or it opens up another Pandora's box.
If you talk to the man often enough, you'll talk to him and know he has a job. You'll know when his lunch break is. You'll know usually what time he gets off, and usually what he does afterwards, whether he talks to you on the ride home or whether you got to wait until he gets in the shower, crack a beer, and ease his mind real quick. You will know all of these things if you are paying attention enough.
True. And I agree with you, but
Period.
I guess
guess what that takes, Gracie? That's going to take time and energy, which is called what? Work, which is something most people don't want to fucking do. And it is what it is. So if you want to see a difference in that, then you're going to have to put the work in, which means time and effort in the research. Do what you got to do. Don't be on some like,
maybe I'm gun ho. maybe I'm gung ho about credit, Smitty, because this is what it's a passion of mine. It's a passion of mine to
but
help
see, to
people.
a lot of men like us, when we see on dating apps, they're like, they won't let you pass go until you put in a certain number of how much you make from 40,000, 60,000, 100 and over. I don't want to type nothing in that ain't, what the fuck am what is this? So my point is that a lot of this stuff is new. It's brand new. All this asking what you make, man, no. I'm talking about, and I'm only 41.
Well, I don't ask what they make. I ask what your credit score is, because now that your thought process, I can
I'm not
see.
even talking. No, you're specifying it on what do they make. The whole shebang with that. Anything that falls under that umbrella. And now I'm not saying don't inquire about anything as far as finances. No. You listen, especially if you live a certain lifestyle. Like, you better believe I do observe, all right, so the way I go about it with my man, I'll ask him, so what do you do for a living? First and foremost, most of us would know, all you got to do is ask a person what they do, and you can gauge what they make around somewhat from there. Most of us know electricians, they got that bag. Most of us know train operators got that bag. Most of us know, people in certain positions got that money. You can look, if I tell you I'm a manager at a KB toy store, you should know if I'm telling you I'm making 90,000 a year, I'm a goddamn lie. You should know that. See, it's simple shit, like people don't connect dots. Women ask me, what do you do? I tell them I am a chef. Guess what? It's not hard to believe I make about 70,000, 70 to 75 a year.
But Smitty, if I hear a man tell me, if I hear a man tell me he's a chef, I'm not thinking about finances. Now I get excited. I love to eat.
Yeah, no. And see, that's what I'm saying.
And now I know I don't have to cook as much because you cook.
No, they just ask me, what can I make them? They just ask me, can you cook me something? They don't ever ask me about my check. They always ask me, what can I make them? I know. I'm here. Trust me, I get it all the time. I'm just saying, but you got to understand, though. Go ahead, so get in there.
Okay, so what? Okay, I'm trying to understand what's the concept of what y'all talking about, Grace? Like, so all right, so Smith, are you saying that a woman shouldn't ask about a man's finances? Like, I'm kind of lost. You muted, bro.
Oh, no, we should not be asking about that. No, you should not be asking me what the fuck I make.
That's important to women. That's important to people, Smitty.
Tripping. No, listen, again, like I said, there are very, very key things that you can see in your face.
But people can lie. You could be having a Cadillac Escalade, but you live in a studio.
Okay. So now listen, I don't know how to listen. When I speak on these things,
help me out, Jay.
When I speak on these things, I don't speak on this shit as far as like from a disingenuous point. I don't speak on this in representation.
No, I know, because you were raised that way. That's how you were raised.
I only know how to speak from what it is then that I know.
I get it.
What I'm saying is not the be all end all. You ask me personally, and all I'm saying to you, twin, is I don't do that shit. Listen, I am decorated when it comes to the dating market. So my point is that I've never in there one point ever have had my finances been brought up. Do you know what women do? They look at my home, they see what I drive, they see how I dress, they notice that I don't ask for shit. They notice that when we're out and about, when we're connected, they notice if anything, I'm dishing out, I'm giving. So you know what that looks like to them? A provider. And then hold on now. What is the number one thing that women look for in a man, Gracie?
Protection and stability.
No. Consistency.
Okay.
So after I show you that, I consistently keep on doing it. You don't see no errors, no flaws, and it's no errors in my ways when it comes to that. Do we all have our days? Yeah, I mean, shit. Do life shit happens? Yes, nobody's perfect. But you will be able, if you pay attention enough, if you're around them enough, if you all communicate enough. Yeah, y'all should be. If y'all dating, y'all should be talking. A couple times every day. I mean, well, at least, or if not, depending on your work schedule. When you all finally do have the time, you all should go ahead and get it in for that little bit. You all should dedicate that time, even if it's over the phone. Dedicate that time for each other. Fuck everything else.
I mean, Smitty, we're gonna agree to disagree.
But see, that takes time and energy, Gracie, and it all falls back to work. Something niggas don't want to do.
I would agree with Smitty in the beginning, of course. Like, I think in the beginning, yeah, you ain't supposed to be discussing finances. But I think like around 3 to 6 months in, you know what I mean? Then yeah, that need to be happening.
Oh no. Yeah. Once y'all moving towards that direction, I'm talking about everything is like, as far as like we just fucking around on that first type shit. Because think about it, you got women. I mean, apparently from what online says, I've never gone through this shit, but they want you to take them somewhere that's beyond Cheesecake Factory, right? Right. So just from that alone, that it's already being stated, you gotta make a certain amount. I need you to take me to where we can sit in that booth where it's dolphins in the wall behind us swimming. So that's what I'm saying. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie.
I hear you. So let me go ahead. Let's keep forward. Again, we're going to go over the term vetting. It refers to a meticulous and critical examination of someone with the purpose of thoroughly investigating and determining whether they possess the necessary qualities such as personality, traits, trustworthiness, and loyalty for a particular position or role that person is going to play in your life and or children. Again, the children. You're not only vetting for yourself, ladies, but you're vetting for your children. Y'all are quick to say, oh, I don't want my children around that bitch. Oh, but them children can be around that new man. See that double standard BS? Don't fly with me, and especially on this channel. If you can be laid up with Tyrone today, Jerome tomorrow, and Bobby next week, but he can't have Rachel with him. I mean, come on. And then you got a revolving door. You're not betting. And then especially if you have a daughter, we got to do better. Not just for your safety, but for your children's safety. Yeah, I'm putting in guilt on there. I'm going to make you feel guilty because a lot of you women, you think with your pussy versus your head. And you're not thinking about what you're doing. Do what I did. Date a man that got his own place so you can go do all your foolery at his place. But don't bring it home.
Oh, you ain't bringing that shit to my house. What? You ain't bringing that shit to my house. Rule number one, don't disturb my peace. Rule number one.
Oh, but you want to go over her house.
Rule number two, take your shoes off at the door.
Hold up.
You're talking about the most Greg, you must be talking about the most trifling, most bottom-feeding hoes I ever heard about in my life.
Yeah, but you guys know you see this all the time. You see, baby, you see women.
I hear about it. I don't see that shit.
Okay, you hear about it.
Yeah, that don't encompass me, man. That ain't got nothing to do with over here.
What were you about to say?
Smitty's right on almost everything that he's saying. But Grace,
salute to Smitty.
I'll say this to you. If hindsight was a superpower, we all would have made better decisions when we were younger and things like that. And the fact that you're coming into this new age of maturity, when you turn 50, the gloves come off. So I commend you for seeing that. And you have worked hard. You've done everything, the right way as you got hindsight as we mature. Even for myself, there's going to be a time when he go to where he go at the spring break,
Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
His spring break is going to be permanent. Then Mom is gonna have to find her new lane, and it may be.
Honey, I'm gonna make it permanent for him because when he graduates, I'm packing all his shit and I'm taking him to Florida. I'm gonna ring the doorbell and run and drop him off at his dad's house. It's your turn now.
No, I understand that, but then mommy gotta find a new lane. Mommy gotta get her man and go over his house.
Trust me, it's already in the works, baby.
But I do agree with this, and this is where fellas can get the upper hand. Now you get your own place. Now you control it. You control the movements, all that, and if she comes over, then I mean, listen, this is a day. I'll say this in protecting yourself. Record that shit. Because you don't want nobody in these little chicks trying to come for a bag and you out here.
But again, I'm not talking about sneaky links, a ride-by chick. I'm talking about somebody that you're actually courting. Yes. Exactly. This is what this show applies to.
Oh, and I'm talking for a woman that you want to be with, and you might be trying to vet her and see what she's about. Now, if she come over to your place, that's the advantage. Let the neighbors know her name and your name. Let the neighbors know your name is all I'm saying. You don't want to do it with the kids at the house and messing up at home. No, you don't want to do it. Respect that. And the game will respect you, is all I'm saying. In regards to as far as her coming to your house. Now, granted, a lot of y'all clean your rooms up. Get some fresh scents in there. Don't wash your
There go the lessons.
But it can benefit men in a sense, like Smitty said, how a man moves. He wants to be tidy, cleanliness, and organized. Those things play to your advantage when she walk in and see you smell good. Your sheets is clean, everything. Your towels is neatly folded. You got organization. You got your silverware in the silverware places. I've been in some women's house. They got a bowl full of shit. A drawer full of shit. Just nice fork, spoon. I'm like, no.
If I have to squat when I go to your house and use the restroom, I'm never coming over again because I barely use public restrooms. I will stop doing what I'm doing and go home and use the restroom. And if I come over your house and I have to squat, I'm not. And even before we get busy, I'm going to use the bathroom to check it out and check your room out. And if it's a no-go, it's a no-go because you got to be clean. You got to be clean.
I will never forget briefly. This was the one encounter I had. I was working with a buddy of mine, and his dad owned a carpet lane. They did carpet and tile and stuff. So we was at a house, and I said, man, I have to go to the bathroom. I just had to pee. That's all. So number one, I'm sorry, y'all, for whatever's weird and shit. But I had to go number one. So lady said, you go downstairs, use the bathroom. Now, mind you, the place was a mess. Gracie, I went in that bathroom and I went outside to pee.
Wow.
Yeah. I went outside to stand up somewhere else. Yeah. It was that bad. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to the home, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you're gonna have guests over, 2 places, if not anywhere else, your kitchen and your bathrooms. Kitchen and bathrooms. I repeat, kitchens and bathrooms. If not nothing else. Your bedroom can be some shit. Basement can be. Kitchens and bathrooms. Get them bloody pads out them little mini trash cans and shit. Okay? All right. Double flush if you need to because your water pressure ain't strong enough, and get them floaties up out of there. Okay? Scrub the back of that goddamn toilet. Get them toothpaste splats off of that goddamn mirror. Stop being so damn trifling. Rechange the goddamn toilet paper. Don't just sit the new roll over top of the cardboard on the old roll.
Oh, that is so that I hate that.
You lazy niggas. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just bugged out. I'm back.
That's okay. And I have to say something. We can tell. We can tell if you just finished cleaning up because I was coming over, okay? Versus somebody that maintains their house clean every day. You see what I'm saying? Because you can tell if shit is thrown in the closet, things messy over here, but it's clean over here. I mean, all of that. Yes, sometimes you can do a good job of hiding it, but there's going to come a time where I'm coming over more often, or now you're allowing me to do pop-ups, and I do a pop-up, then I'm going to see the real you. I'm going to see how you do when you finish eating, and what are you going to do with the dishes? Are it's just, but anyway, we're getting off track, so let's stay focused, okay?
Grace.
And both, yes.
Let me add to that. Listen.
Yes, sir.
There's only one. Trust me, there's never been a time when my room was dirty. Whenever I had a woman over, I can tell you that right now. At least I just made sure my bed and my couch was clean. Obviously, my floor was always clean. I never had to really worry about anything else, unless somebody brought red Kool-Aid and that motherfucker then it's fucked. It don't matter. No matter what you. The best memory I would tell anybody is, man, and this is to men. I want to say, I gotta go to the mirror quick, very quickly. Men, make sure your bedroom is clean. Make sure your bathroom is clean. I know y'all kitchens is clean because you motherfuckers cook more so than a woman nowadays. So
no dirty dishes.
No dirty dishes in the sink. And if anything, hey man, listen, your house should smell better than hers. At least in this time of age that we're in. Because my house smells like fucking peaches. Well, at least my roommates. This whole
I know that's right.
This whole house, like our different rooms. One smells like vanilla. Mine smells like peach. And my man who works the hospital, his whole room smells like strawberries. That's just because his girlfriend loves strawberries. He makes the whole shit smell nice. So yeah, so things like that. So it's just like it's a proper course and proper etiquette that you need to freaking know. So like what you said about that pop-up, I did have that happen. The only thing that was messy was my desk, but everything else. I mean,
it happens. We're not perfect. Sometimes I'm in the middle of doing laundry, but the thing is, you can tell. Like Smitty knows that house he went to, that house is consistently dirty like that.
Crazy.
One day my dude came over and I was getting dressed and I left the clothes on the floor, and he used the bathroom and he was like, "What's going on here?" And I got up because I have a habit of after, when you take that shower and you lotion down and sometimes you just lay down and you just take a quick. So I got up and I'm like, I wasn't done. He was like, "Well, you better be done because when I get ready to use the restroom, it needs to be top notch." So that right there, I didn't take it as an insult. See, most women would be like, "Well, you ain't gonna tell me what to do. This is my motherfucking house." What I took it as, he doesn't want to see my clothes on the floor. That when I'm out the bathroom, everything needs to be out the bathroom. That's how I took it as, even though he can be messy.
The floor wet.
Oh, I hate that. My son does that. I said, bro, you're supposed to dry yourself in the tub, not outside of the tub. That drives me bananas. But the thing is, you have to learn your person. And it's funny though, he can be messy at times sometimes. But you know what? I let that slide. He works 14, 16 hours a day. I'll pick, that's my job to pick up the slack. It's okay. It doesn't bother me because I don't like nobody doing my laundry. I am very picky about doing laundry. I will do the laundry. I may not fold it right away because that's the part I hate. So we'll have to compromise. If I end up moving in, we'll compromise. I'll do all the laundry. You just fold it and I'll put it away. I mean, you gotta be compatible, people. That's why you have to vet. But I didn't take that as him telling me what to do. It was my own damn house. I could have went that way. You don't pay no bills here. You may help out here and there, but I didn't see it that way. He let me know, yo, I don't want to see this shit when I come in the bathroom. Your house, my house, your mama house, nobody house. Now, if that person really matters to me then I would make the adjustments, because you gotta look at where the source is coming from. If I didn't give a fuck about this dude and I didn't care, I was like, whatever, my nigga. This is my house. But we got to get out of that. If you're really wanting to be serious with a person, you got to respect their boundaries. You got to respect. I already know that twin up here. He's a clean freak. The shoes at the door. He lets it be known. So why would I walk in on a day that's raining with muddy shoes in the house? I'd probably take them off before I even ring the doorbell. And leave them outside. I mean, you gotta respect people's boundaries.
No. I got all the shit for right there when you come in. Now you ain't gotta do all that now. we super loaded over this thing. Nah, you ain't gotta do all that. Just don't walk past that threshold of where you see everything supposed to go. Trust me, it's self-explanatory.
I hear you.
World's got little signs on it and everything. You ain't gotta worry about that.
It helped the ladies.
You ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Okay, so hold on. Travel One is saying some stuff. Let's see what she got to say. Where are men picking up women? You are not asking enough questions. Men pick women. What is the intent? Ladies, keep men out of your house. Safety first. Travel One, I would have to wholeheartedly agree with you, and that's the whole purpose of this show. We're not asking enough questions. We're not.
You know what? You know what? Travel One, you are absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Ladies, keep men out of your house. Safety first. Fellas,
go to a hotel.
There have been a whole lot of us who have had a woman come by and set us up. Fellas, keep these chicken heads out your house. Mm-hmm. Keep these drags and these hoes out your house.
Take them to the Super 8.
I just want to say, I mean, all I'm saying is I agree, sis. So thank you so much for giving the ladies a message. Fellas, keep these dirty assholes out your house. You work too hard for your shit. Make sure you maintain your the security around your perimeter. Make sure you keep everything in order. And how do you keep things in order? Keep all of them strags out your shit. You keep them at bay. Meet them at the local park somewhere or some shit in their neighborhood, not yours, because that may be too close to your goddamn house. They might be able to track some shit because they know.
And then Travel One came back and said, if you are
Travel One.
If you are not a wife, he does not see you as one, ladies. No wifey duties. Keep your standards high. A marriage license is a standard. Now, Travel One, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, because a man is not going to buy a car unless he can test drive it first. So he has to see if you're wifey material first before he can ask you to be his wife. You are already either wifey material or you're not. You're going to tell me if I'm with a man and I'm exchanging bodily fluids with him, you best believe I'm going to cook for him. I'm going to cook. One, I love to cook. And two, if he laid it down and got an A+ the night before, he getting French toast, scrambled eggs, bacon, toast, coffee, orange juice, vitamins. He getting all of that and a second round or third. This is how I operate. And he comes over and he's spending the night. His work clothes he takes off, they're going straight in the washing machine because you're not going back home with dirty clothes. And this is just the dating phase. If we're seriously, if we're dating seriously, if we didn't put in 6-9 months now, let me make it clear, guys. Again, this show is for people with intentions of getting married and having serious relationships. It's not for the sneaky links. It's not for the side chicks, the side ninjas. This is for people who are serious about getting into relationships. This is why we have to vet. By you vetting is going to, in turn, you're going to make an informed decision. Okay, I'm going to make this person my man. I'm going to make this person my lady. You're doing too much, Grace. He's not helpless. He's at my house.
Grace,
go ahead. Go ahead.
She's right. Travel One is right. She's right. And it's something I try to tell my sisters, and I try to tell my cousins and mom, because I'm mostly like the older cousin, and I'm the oldest brother. No, I mean, I'm the oldest in my family, so I try to tell them this. Look, man, and the reason why I say this is because niggas get comfortable. All right, niggas get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want a dude getting too comfortable, you gotta have a standard. You know what I'm saying? You don't want him getting too comfortable. You know what I mean? He gotta know that, like, yo, this chick ain't gonna do all this shit. She not just a standby chick or standby hoe I can just come by and she gonna do this, that, and the third for me. No, that's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? And you have to put those criteria on men. You have to. I'm telling you. And the younger the man, the stronger the criteria. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, but then women expect men to pay their bills. Women expect to get their hair done and their nails done and put gas in the car.
Hoes bills.
No, but the thing is that it has to be expectations for both, though, right? So yes, you shouldn't be expecting him to pay bills and all that if he's not a husband either, right? If he's not a husband,
but you know that's not the case. These women want this, and then Travel One said to me, "He's not supposed to be at your house, though." Well, first of all, my son doesn't live with me anymore. He's been living. I didn't get him transferred to another high school his senior year, so I left him where he's at. He lives about 10 miles away from me, and he comes over and sees me every weekend. I had to make that sacrifice for the betterment of his mind, his mental health. He's with his uncle. He's got the male influence. So I did what was best for my son. And I actually sat down with him and we talked about it. I said, okay, you got three choices. Option one, you go back to Florida and you go be with your daddy. We both bust out laughing. We knew that was going to happen. And then I said to him, well, you can move in. You could come with me and move with me.
But Grace, and he was like, well, Mom. I think you're talking about your son. I think she's talking about like if you let a guy come over. I think that's what
no, because she's saying, well, he's not supposed to be at your house though. And remember, I said, don't bring people in. I don't bring men around my house or whatever. We haven't lived together in almost a year now, so that doesn't apply anymore for me. Because the reason I didn't bring men to my house was because I didn't want him him being around my son. If you're not going to be somebody serious and we just playing.
You know what's wild, Gracie?
Huh?
You know what's so wild? Let me go ahead and give y'all a little secret. But it's really not a secret. Y'all keep talking about don't bring men to your house. Guess what? If I was a lady, which I'm far from anything, I would have that nigga come to me because that's my turf. You know how many women I hit on the first night,
bro.
And they come to my house?
I had a stalker once. Just to come pick me up and go on a date.
I get you. Hold tight. You're missing what's being said. Don't stop there. That was just a pit stop. Don't put your beach towel and your chair out at the gas station. We was just filling up. It's a lot of women who will talk about don't take a man in your house, but y'all will come straight over to mine. You don't know what I'm about. You just met me.
And they can be set up.
And they'll let me hit raw. See, this is a little secret shown though. So y'all talking all that protection shit. One, you don't protect your fucking body. Two, you're coming over to a complete stranger's house after you only talked to me for 2 weeks because a nigga sound fly on fucking, some dating app or something. Y'all need to get y'all shit together when it comes to that.
So then,
now, not you, Gracie, not you.
I hear
and
you.
Not for whomever it doesn't fit. If you are a size 7.5, which we all know is the perfect foot size for a woman, don't be trying to sit up here and argue with the 9s and the 4s and the 5.5s and the 8s and shit. You're a 7.5. Stay right there.
Then Travel One came back and said, you're setting yourself up, Grace, for what they call a smash and dash. Why would you agree to that? First of all, again, we're talking about people
that you what they wanted. They didn't want nothing. They wanted me to cook for them real quick. They wanted to see what this B was hitting on. They come back enough times and then they go ahead and go back to their man or whoever else. Because for real, most of them already got somebody. They're just fucking around. See, this is these are the things that guys like myself get the little inside scoop on. That's what it
Okay.
is.
But what I'm trying to address, Travel One, is that first of all, if you're coming to my house, we've already been dating 3 to 4, 5, 6 months. It's not going to be just anybody that I don't know. And second of all, she said, Grace, it's just not safe for women to meet a stranger and let him come to your home. Revisit Versatessa. Men lie, Grace,
But
and you
you'll
must know
go
this.
to a stranger's
Let me
house.
finish, Smitty. Let me finish. Shack-ups are not good for women. Again, Travel One, this show is not about sneaky links and one-night stands. This show is about a person that you're seriously been dating, seriously considering moving in together or being in a committed relationship. All of this that you're speaking, I know of. And besides, I carry, hollow point bullets, 9mm, 40 caliber, Glock. But, again, I just don't bring anybody to the house. And if I do bring you to the house, you must be VIP. Very special, very important penis.
Don't tell them what you got in your house. Never tell people what weapons you got in your house.
But that's not the only one I got, honey.
No, don't tell them that either. Damn.
You're scared of man off.
I ain't never doing no crime with y'all. Never.
Yo, Gracie, yeah, y'all don't be the type of people to shoot the club, like literally, like don't, like, come on.
Hold on, Jay, my bad. With that being said,
go ahead, E4.
The only part of what Travel One is saying that I agree upon, right, is, you know what I mean? Because yeah, grown people gonna be grown people. You have to decide who you want to let in your house or not, right? Some people may say it's all right to let somebody in their house when they first meet them. Some people say it's not. Some people say 3 to 6 months, whatever, right? The only part I do agree upon is that that there should be a standard for a person to meet. You know what I mean? They should know that it's a difference once they become a wife and once they become a husband, right? So I do believe that people should have basically that, that expectation that, like, look, you know what I mean? If I'm your husband, then I do this. If I'm your wife, then I do that. You know what I mean? If I'm not nobody's husband, then I'm not putting their name on nothing that I have. You have to be married to me first. I mean, and I'm not negotiating that. If you're not married to me, your name is on nothing. Right? And vice versa. Women should have standards too, to when they get married and how it should be. They both gotta have standards. If there's not a standard, then it's gonna be chaos. And that's just the truth.
Absolutely. Grace. Yes.
Let me throw some information, because my man Smitty's been spitting so far. So is 84 and you. And here's something I gotta let be known, because some of these are just Neanderthals, people out here that I'm starting to notice. In Japan, and they don't have this problem in Japan. So let me tell you how it goes down in Japan. The same way we would do a date and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So a custom that you Neanderthals, not the people on panel who are hearing this, because I know some of y'all just tend to hear, I guess, a custom that they do down there when they do dates, neither man nor woman goes to each other's apartment. They don't do that shit. They go to a hotel, they get frisky, and then after that business concluded, they leave. They don't ever do any of that shit that goes down in the West over here. And the reason why they do that is the way it's a form of confirmation to know what they're getting, because they know what the hell they're getting into. And before they even get married or move in together, that's the requirement after the 3 dates type shit. Because then you're meaning, because after you've settled in being boyfriend and girlfriend, and you're settled into fiance, that's when you meet the fucking dad. You meet mommy, you meet daddy. And then through their blessing, does all that courting and marriage happen after that point. So this whole, we go to each other's houses and shit, that shit is non-existent over there.
Do they live with their parents still, most of them?
Okay. Now either, there's 2 things. The mom, and then not the mom, somebody say the girl. The lady is either still living with her mom and dad, and the man mostly has his own apartment, and he works his own job. That's usually how it is. Now, on rare occasions the woman works, she has her own apartment, or she still stays, or she works and stays with her mom and dad. So it's either so 2 things can't be true. I want to let you know right now, because it's very possible for her to own her own apartment, things like that, but she won't let a man into her apartment, and the man won't let her into his apartment. So that's why that little thing of getting together in a hotel that's so common there. That's why hotels make a lot of money in Japan, is because that's how they do it. And I'm like,
Jay,
that shit works. Go ahead, brother.
Jay. What is the average? Okay, so let me ask, because I'm fully not aware, and I know you know, so you can give us all the information. All right, so over here in America, you know, of course, we got like our little sleazy ass motels, our little, you know, super eights, and, you know what I'm saying? Our little, you know, Ramadigans and shit. Yeah, right. So look, all right, bet. So over here we got motels and we also have hotels. I'm stating that to lead up to how much is the average room over there in Japan? Just curious. And do they have motels and hotels? I'm pretty sure they do. They got their slums and their rich areas, but is it like over here, or is it like when you get a room over there, it's like it's going to be on some fantastic shit or nothing? Like they're gonna have fucking koi fish in your room and shit, just like swimming in your bed and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay. I won't say there's a thing called love hotels, and love hotels actually have a nice setup. You would think you're in a fucking hotel.
They're called love hotels.
Yeah, exactly. They're called love hotels, and they're
which means with AKA go fucking a room. Gotcha. All right, go fucking.
Okay, Tika has a question for Jay. It has to be for him. So, a comment. So they have one night stands prior to marriage. They link up and get slayed in hotels prior to marriage. How is that better? It's still a one night stand.
Hold on, Gracie, hold on, real quick, please, because where I'm at is real quick, and then go ahead, Gracie. Keep that up there. Jay, when you know, there are guys out here who are able to not only like get women, but like get women to want to even do things for them. And it's not because they're like leeching and mooching up. No, it's because of the way they move. It's because they're so sufficient. These women want to do things for them because of how sufficient they see they are for themselves, right? So watch this. The reason why I asked you how much are the rooms there, because when you say that, okay, bet, so I hook up, I go pay for a room. Okay, I didn't pay for the coup-de-tang, but I paid for the room. So subsequently, I paid for the coup-de-tang because the only reason why I got the room was to get the coup-de-tang. So all I'm saying is that I don't know, dog. I've been pretty successful inviting them over to the crib. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, to go pay money. See, that's where I'm at, dog. Because see, my whole thing is get the bang for your buck. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Which means keep your bucks and then still bang. Bow. See that? See how we just worked that?
Yeah, I see what you did.
The point is this, bro. The point is this. All jokes aside, right? Like, I'm like, if the rooms cost a certain amount, and if we're over here, and if you say over here, like for example in the West, oh man, the women say that the men should go ahead and pay this amount for a date off rip. Depending on how much that room costs in Japan, which I know for a fact is very pricey, because my sister is just like you. Like she love it over there. She got a best friend over there. She travels back and forth, and she one of them. Like she do authentic sushi wraps and all kind of shit. Anyway, so my point is that I know it's very expensive. So if I'm paying damn near the same price to get some puss, and I gotta pay for a room, we ain't even got no food. That's not even including the carry out. All right, we ain't even got the goddamn ramen noodles and shit yet. This is just for the room, and I'm doing this to hit. And I'm a nigga that's used to, I don't have to do all that. Yeah, I got a hard time with that. That's all I was trying to throw in there. So, I mean, when you say pay for a room, how much are rooms over there? Because Japan is not cheap. The yen is more than the dollar.
Yen is more than $1.
It's more than the dollar. So automatically, I'm thinking in my head, that room going to cost, you talking about get a hotel over in Japan? automatically in my head, I'm thinking, dog, that shit gonna cost something. And even if it costs what was the average price around here in the States, I mean, okay, you go to a decent spot, you can, depending on the season, depending on where it's located, 89, 90, about, 100, 120, something like that. Considering you're not one of the uppity fancy folks, for those average folks like us, you know what I'm saying, who like to do fancy things from time to time. You may spend like what? I don't know. Okay, all right, bet. So we got something nice. We, $150 or something, 200 for the suite.
There we go. Something like that, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? All right, bet. Cool, no problem.
That's actually
Dog, how much is that shit over there?
Okay, so I was
and that's still not a steak dinner over here. But go ahead though.
No, but to give it a quick answer, because I want Gracie to do her thing. But
I'm just thinking food. I'm sorry.
It's fine. But yeah, we stand on topic. I got you, Gracie. I'm gonna make sure you get your show and everything. But
okay.
Answer you. So basically, if you're in Tokyo, it would be almost the price of almost Manhattan. Just think of Tokyo as Manhattan. But if you outside Tokyo and you like in places like
rest my case.
Saitama, then no other places. It can't just be, it's just one place where it's really big like that, like a few places, but not a whole bunch. So if you're in Yokohama, Saitama, any of those places, you get a good price overall. Like really, it'd be like that 150 type thing, and that includes like all the things that come with it and everything. So you don't have to purchase anything inside. It's not extra. They don't cost.
I'm still on coffee days though, Jay. So 150 still over my budget, brother.
But again, this is for couples.
I know what he's saying. I'm just messing with my boy, man.
This is for couples that are thinking about having a relationship. These are not sneaky links, side ninjas, or side chicks, or one night stands. The show is about vetting to become into a serious, to find a suitable partner for you.
Right.
But you know something, though,
Gracie? You are going to smash before y'all get married. I am going to let you know that. That's even in Japan, too.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to drive a car without test driving it. I got to see. I know it goes. I'm sorry, God, and I know it goes against the fornication, but I'm not going to be stuck with no whack ass sex. God. No, it's not. It's not going to happen.
These sidebar, like honestly, because trust me, I've been paying attention tonight because I pay attention to the panel, the chat, and everything.
I love Smitty.
Man, respect to you, Brody. So look, right, like we really have been on topic the entire night. This actually has been an wonderful show. I think you should watch the replay. Even with the sidebar,
I'm about to watch this tomorrow.
What we're talking about directly. Okay, so we're not directly on the trunk and bark of the tree, but these are the branches.
Yeah, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, these are the branches and the extensions, and you know how these discussions can go at times, Twain, because there's always going to be something that may be on the side that does connect to the middle. You smell me now? Respect.
Yep. All right, so continuing, in both vanilla and the kink world, and in general, vetting is a direct and relatively efficient way to determine if a potential partner is compatible with your desires or lifestyle choices as well. Though the vetting process, individuals can compare their wants, their needs, their desires, their morals, and limits to one another. When does the vetting process begin? As we engage with a potential partner, again, not a sneaky link, not a side ninja, a potential partner, in a conversation or spending time, Smitty, getting together, we are in fact engaging in a form of organic vetting. Therefore, the vetting process begins as soon as you initiate extended conversations with that person. Typically, the conversation unfolds naturally while keeping in mind that after asking your basic dumbass questions as what's your favorite color, what's your favorite movie, all the typical robotics questions. Once there's a connection after chatting sometime, it's time to proceed into asking more evasive and pointed questions, which in turn will help us gain a deeper understanding of the individual's values, beliefs, and boundaries. And please feel free to tailor questions to your specific needs and preferences, as there are no wrong questions, and trust and honesty are critical to establishing a healthy and fulfilling dynamic relationship. It's essential to feel at ease discussing your interests, values, and morals and financial habits past the truth, and you got to talk about sex. This is why we have so much sexless marriages. I told my son, you marry somebody that Jordan loves, not somebody that you think I'm going to love. If you like the stripper type chick, then goddamn it, you marry the stripper type chick. Don't like the stripper type chick and then marry the church girl, because he's going to be miserable. Marry who you want to marry and who is good for you. I said to him, as long as she respects you, loves you, and treats my grandbabies right, that's all that really matters, because it's Jordan's happiness that matters. We have to, if I have a high libido, I'm not marrying a dude that only likes to fuck once a month. It's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I also noticed that dating older gentlemen, that shit is different. You know what I'm saying? Because the younger ones, they can put it in, but the older ones, they need a longer time to recoup. They need 2 sandwiches instead of 1. I mean, it's just different. I'm learning a lot too, but I don't want to put just all emphasis on sex, but it is very important, especially to men. You can't give him all the coochie in the world, and then once you marry him, you're holding out. That's to me abuse. You're wrong for that shit, ladies.
But Grace, that's the problem already. A lot of our young adults are already oversexed by the time they really get to their groove and they stride in life. We out here having sex early, 14, 15, 13, 12, and it ain't just like you.
When you really shouldn't.
You get it in one time with the girl, y'all liked each other in school, and then it's like, once they get it, it never stops. It never stops. The men continue to drive. Our driving force in America, as far as our relationships, it's only driven on sex. That's it. Ain't no communication in there. Because this is the predicament that women, especially young women, put themselves in. Even older, a woman that's wanting a man, y'all tell us on the loudspeaker, on the microphone, that y'all want a man to put it down. And as a man, especially a young man, part of your maturity and pride is based off you putting it down. You might not, and it's a lot of guys who may not be regular getting the cake. So when they get the cake, they have to perform well. He invite you over, you invite him over, y'all go to a hotel, he has to tear the walls down. Because if he doesn't, he might not get that call back the next day. Before he get in this car, girl, this nigga talked all that shit. He came over and didn't do nothing. Now we wonder, I called you. Yeah, you know. Then now here come the red flags, fellas. Once you didn't perform right, now she's giving you the dish signal, but she ain't gonna say I don't want to mess with you, because you might have that bag. And if you got that bag, then you in that friend zone. But that's where you are. But if you come in there slanging and with that hammer, you ain't really gotta have a whole lot of money. Y'all seeing it, y'all crying about it, guys. Why Pookie and Ray Ray get it? Because Pookie and Ray Ray coming with that hammer. He ain't asking her no questions, where she going, where she been. When she call him, he's showing up with no drawers on and some jeans sagging down to with a long t-shirt. He's coming there for one thing. He ain't took her out to dinner. You done already fed her. You got a belly full, and now she ready to get put to sleep. And that's where, fellas, we can do better as far as vetting and understand how she moves to you. And women, y'all biggest treasure is y'all body. Guys in y'all neighborhood see who y'all screwing. They see y'all moving. They see you at the club, dude over in your ear. They see you leave. They pay attention. And once you get with it, the guys y'all age, everybody, guess what they doing? Man, yeah, man, I got that. Yeah, man, they talking about you. Now you mad because he don't want to deal with you no more, because he already know one of his boys done got it 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in a trick bag. If you can hold on to it And this is, again, older women, stop telling your young girls, go out here and ride that. Get off that, because y'all competing in the system. Y'all double back on the young girls and go for the same guy.
Yeah.
Y'all put them in a bad situation.
Yeah, so, I agree.
At some point, everybody gonna have to make a deal. At some point, everybody gonna have to make a deal. Write that shit down, because you start getting a whole lot of different lists. It'll go against what you thought you already knew and wanted. Then you get to sin, and like, I don't want it. So write it down. Everybody pass notes like they used to do. Here's my list, men. Here's my list, ladies. We can, some extent, we can agree on, check. Some of the shit, okay, we'll go ahead and negotiate. Okay, now we come to it. You put an addendum in there and you work it out. At some point, it's going to have to happen. Or consider your grandchildren just damn degenerates, because ain't nobody going to know how to communicate. Everything you have will fail. Everything they have will fail, because nobody knows how to communicate and build. That's where we are. That's our dynamic where we stuck. So as a man, you're built to explore. Get out, see the fucking world. Come back to your grandmama's house, your mama's house. Come back to, you should be ready to get out of your twin size bed apartment. You should better get away from your mama's cooking. Go get somebody else's cooking. Because when they cook it with love, they're going to feed you well. Then it's going to give you strength. And then when you stand tall, like Smitty said, they're going to acquiesce to how you move. Ladies, stay fresh. Stay original. If y'all stay real original, guys will be knocking down their door trying to marry you. But y'all want to sell out to the propaganda and spend all your $1.7 trillion on fake shit when you should just stay in your natural scent, cut your armpit hairs, trim your little body hairs, shave your mustaches and shit, smell like fresh berries. It'll work for you. Y'all
These are the lessons of Uncle.
Don't give your bodies up too soon. Don't, because it plays out too early. And now when a good guy come along, you don't want him, or
you're all fucked out. Now you don't want to fuck the main one that you're supposed to be. You don't want to sleep with the one you're supposed to be sleeping with is your husband, because you didn't sleep with everybody else. I mean, make it make sense, ladies. You want to go on girls' trips and go on a whole phase, but the one you should be a hoe for is your husband. A lady in the streets and a hoe in the sheets. But you're all fucked out. And when I heard that talking point,
I like that term.
I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, because by the time they finally get married, now they're holding out on the one person that gave up his name, his peace, his seed, and his money,
everything.
And now he's suffering a sexless marriage. And then you wonder why Becky, the work wife, is feeding him and doing what you're supposed to be. I mean, it's a vicious cycle. We're both guilty of it. I'm not just going to make this against genders, because there are some husbands that suck too, you know, and we both all got work to do. But let's finish up. Other things that we can do. Can I say
one thing real quick? I swear it'll be real quick, Gracie. I swear it'll be super fast. Uncle Ferg, you know what? All right, when BBLs came in style, you know what's been out of style before that? Work ethic. Very, very briefly. Women back in the day didn't have to go get BBLs because their ordinary natural life was a workout. Because the everyday things that they did, it was very much so, you know, around the house functional. So when you have women saying they don't want to cook, they don't want to do this, there is scientific study behind the stay-at-home wife and the health benefits when it comes to what they typically naturally do. It keeps them fit, going up and down steps or whatever, vacuuming this, bending over here, picking up this, moving this pot plant, whatever it may be. Everything that these women did in their natural lives, and I'm not just talking about house chores. No, extended from that. Now, a lot of women rather just kind of have groceries delivered to their house. No, go pick your own fruits and vegetables. I don't want nobody touching my goddamn tomatoes and peaches and shit. I'm going to go get that. You tripping. Big tripping. Now, unless you have some kind of health condition or something, or it's some kind of storm or whatever, and folks can't, that's your only option. But to like be perfectly healthy and able, you gonna sit your lazy ass in the house. You won't go get your groceries, but you'll go ahead and make sure that you beat that face before you go live on some dumb shit. Stop playing with me. Third eye open. Like, seriously. So I'm just,
Like
look, and it's not even an attack, because I easily, this Smitty trying to go on the women. Shut up, miss me. No, because I look at this whole entire thing from the, from the entirety of it, everything that's involved with it. I don't just look at the exciting parts of the movie. I also pay attention to that real boring part that you didn't really peep, and then come to find out that was a very significant part of the entire goddamn movie. You got to pay attention to the cracks and the crevices.
Oh,
so I mean, that's all. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out, Gracie.
All right, so other things that we can do: check their social media. It's essential to get a sense of who they are and how they present themselves online. Ask if they're connected to their local community or they're involved. Individuals in the local community may be able to vouch for your potential partner. Utilizing these resources can help you make an informed decision about whether this person is worthy of being in a relationship with you. This is an important one, guys. Pay attention to actions, behaviors, and patterns. It's essential to recognize that anyone can say the right things to impress or deceive you. While words carry weight, that should not be the only source of information. Ultimately, it's an individual's actions that speak louder than words. If their words and actions don't align, it could be a red flag and a warning to proceed with caution. You see, while it's time, no one's perfect and we all make mistakes. It's crucial to look for patterns of behavior when vetting a potential partner. Although some individuals may learn from the mistakes and not repeat them, but if you notice this person reoccurring theme of, oops, oh, I forgot, my bad, excuse, it can indicate a problematic pattern of behavior, even if the actions themselves differ each time. So to sum it up, hold on, let me make sure I'm still here. Prior to similar questions. Okay, and it's important to expect your potential partner to ask similar questions and show interest in your answers, because if they're not asking questions or seem uninterested in your responses, that's a red flag that should not be ignored. Stop ignoring red flags. Your gut feeling is there for a reason. Them little hairs that come up in the back of your neck, that gut feeling. Stop with the lust and the sex is great and this is great. You got to really look at the whole forest and not just the dick or coochie in front of you. Okay? And trust me, I am guilty of that. I have been dickmatized once or twice in my lifetime. So thinking that you, and then this concept of thinking that you can change them. They're not going to change unless they want to change. That's also a red flag for yourself. So ultimately, guys, you really got to do your vetting. You got to ask the questions. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple questions just for an example real quick. And honestly, these are questions that I have gathered that I've thought that are important while in my dating world, while I'm dating. Here's one. What is the most thing you feel misunderstood about? What does happiness mean to you? If you could change something about how you were raised, what would it be? You see, these are questions that go past beyond credit score, your favorite color. You're really trying to get into their soul. On a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid are you being hurt? What is your most toxic trait? What was a lesson or belief that you intentionally took the time to unlearn? If you could have a do-over in life, what would it be? See, these are the types of questions. What's your guilty pleasure? What never fails in making you laugh? Do you see the difference between these questions and the questions about what's your favorite color? What do you like to watch on TV? I mean, you're really peeling the layers off of that person's soul. And then you got to have the uncomfortable conversation. You know, like Smitty was saying, you don't have the conversations about how many kids y'all having after you get married. You want to have them before. You got to talk about your parenting style. I believe in whooping ass. But my ex-husband believe in talking to them because he's adapted to this generation. Man, he caught me one day whooping on my son that he had to jump me to stop jumping him because he was getting it. I lit that whole motherfucker off. I mean, I can count on one hand. I can count on one hand how many whoopings he's gotten. But when he got him, he got him. Because I got whooped with whatever my parents had in their hand. I got thrown a 5-pound damn salami once while I was walking out the door, and it hit me right in the back of my neck, pushed me towards the screen door, and it was so embarrassing, guys. The goddamn 5-pound salami rolled down the stairs of my front house while the bus pulled up. And I was called the salami girl for and then I'm a chubby kid. So now I got teased talking about the salami girl because my mom threw that goddamn salami on me, caught me on my neck because I said so to her. So? You said, she started with her Dominican Spanish. So, and she threw that shit out. I lost my balance. That was so embarrassing, guys. I never said so to her ever again because that feeling that I got, you know what I'm saying? I didn't say because my mom had a wet rag in her hand. That's what you getting. She had a hanger. She was Mommy Dearest. If y'all ever seen that movie, Mommy Dearest, yeah.
Oh yeah.
My dad whooped ass too, and he used to whoop my friend's ass. He used to say, if I come up them stairs, everybody getting it. I said, Dad, you can't touch other people's kids. It's like they eating up my food, sucking up my AC. They're in my house. They my children. And you know what? The parents will then turn around and whoop their ass when they got home. And that is why everybody worked together as a village.
Community.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Grace,
go ahead, Jay. What did you have to say?
In terms of that, I agree with ass whoopings, and here's why. I think everybody knows I had a military father here. I think I've told you guys that. Army. So, so one of these days, this teacher, when I was a bad kid, it was a bad kid one day because when he teaches, I couldn't help myself. I said, "Fuck it." She pissed me the fuck off, and I got they called my pops, right, and he didn't say nothing. He's on his phone. He's like, I guess I'll see you when I get home. And I tell you this, when he and everybody, and when you hear your dad pull up, like say the only time you ever hear his dad pull up, like hear his car pull up, is when you know you did something bad. So I knew when this motherfucker pulled up, I'm like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, listen, I already got my shorts on. I'm like, oh hell no, because I know I'm about to get it. And then because he came in the door, he says, and then you'd be like, he said, where Jay at? he said, I don't give a fuck about what you doing, son. Get in the fucking room. He said, listen. And I said, no, Dad, please. He said, Jay, if I got to get in the room with some fucking problems, get in the fucking room. so like I said, it's part of my self-discipline. And this motherfucker said, listen, yeah, your legs better be shaking because you know I'm not fucking playing. I done told you about this shit. and like this motherfucker brought up a paddle and whooped my ass. And trust me. And he was like, wait, hold on.
Was it ping pong or cricket? Was it cricket or ping pong?
Cricket.
That's not good, bro. It's not good. It's not good.
I know. But it teaches you. But here's the thing. That's when I was like, I went 15 or 16. That's below. But even then, it because after that he stopped using paddles. He just like, I'm gonna make you run a whole lap. That's when he adapted, and trust me, he gets the same result done. You go run until you fall down.
Yep. My dad was with the mental torture. He would hang the belt on my door, and he was like, "I'll be back." And then you don't sleep. You don't know when it's coming. He like that sneak. Sometimes he would fall asleep and forget, and I'm up worrying about when I'm getting. That alone was the punishment. I mean, I tried that, and I put my son on timeout when he was 3. I didn't went and took a nap and forgot that boy was in timeout. He was there for 2.5 hours, and he finally came and got me and be like, "Mommy, I got to use the bathroom." I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm not doing this timeout shit no more, okay? I didn't fell asleep on that boy. I'll just tap him.
A simple whooping will be it.
Exactly.
Gracie.
I lit him up one day in a restaurant in the bathroom, and when I walked outside, Smitty, everybody started clapping because he was acting up. Because I wouldn't give him a second glass of chocolate milk. And I said, "No, you already had one. Now it's time for water. I want chocolate milk." Da, 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 da. And I'm in a restaurant full of white folks and everybody.
Oh, hell no.
I used to carry the belt in my purse. Because you got to address a problem at that particular. I took him to, and the whole restaurant was silent. I said, "You want to try me in public? I'm going to light you up." I walked out, everybody started clapping. And my son apologized. "I'm sorry, everybody. No more chocolate milk for the next month for me."
Gracie, see, real quick. I'm going to let you get in on first. Gracie, you're not understanding something. See,
Gracie, that's
when I was coming up, Gracie, see, first of all, when I was born, my lips actually, when I was born, were paper thin. They only got this thick from being popped in my mouth so many times. The swelling never went down. I mean, I think it formed out pretty good. But my point is that you talking about like spankings, like I realize how much we all have been abused. I remember this wooden slipper and this bamboo stick. To this day,
I had a horse whip.
I swear on life, it was a wooden fucking slipper.
Oh God.
The top was rubber, so it fooled you. The top was rubber, so you thought it was sweet. No. When it came to getting your ass whooped, that wooden side came out. That was the bottom. And it did its job. Understand? And I remember continuously, because like even with my child, right? Like a few times that I had to physically discipline her, I don't know. You know, my thing is I just grab her wrist and smack her hand and tell her go to the room. Apparently that's been enough. But look, right? So when I would get these spankings, and that was when she was young. When I would get these spankings, I remember my spankings, and I remember hearing the stories. About go pick your switch. And if the switch wasn't thick enough, your ass gonna go pick another. Oh yeah. I remember hearing the stories about when you get out that tub, I'm gonna grease you down. See, I'm laughing about it because we can laugh about it.
But it wasn't funny at the time.
But at the same time, it's like it's some people that like real deal never recovered from that shit. And it's like, I don't know, Gracie. The spankings that we call today, like I want us to really think about it. I don't know. I would say majority of us, I mean, who came up decent, that is. I can't speak for the ratchet. Those of us who came up decent, if you do spank your kids, I can almost assure most of us it's nowhere near to the degree what our parents did to us. Like we lightened up on that shit. We lightened up on it a lot, to the point where a lot of people don't even spank their kids, and even to the point where now, you know, there are even laws passed and now kids just get special places. But I don't know. When you were speaking on like your dad hanging the shit up, I'm like, that reminds me of every extension cord, every hanger that was remolded, to fasten your ass, nigga. Okay, that reminds me of these things. And when I look back on it, it's like, dog, we were abused.
But did you die?
But we came out of, that's what I'm saying. But we came out good as shit. Twin, you see how that shit works? But we came out all right though.
And now, but look at how our kids are right now.
Like, you don't know what an ass whooping is, nigga.
And look, and it's indicative of how lost these motherfucking kids are right now. Because a lot of them need their ass whooped.
They really do.
But they want to be, no, Bobby, we're going to negotiate this. I ain't no damn, there's some things that I did talk out with my son.
Go to your special place.
But like, what, I'm going to tell you another ass whooping. It was in a JCPenney because we were going school shopping and I waited I always had to wait to the last minute, the weekend before school started, because he was growing so fast. If I would buy something in 2 weeks, sometimes it would not fit him. So I would literally have to wait till that weekend before school started. I mean, he got his supplies, he got everything. So we at this big ass shoe store, I can't find him. You know that panic when you can't find your kid? And when I finally found him, I picked his ass up and talked to him. We go to JCPenney to go buy his school uniforms. He does it to me again. Like, so what I tried to talk to him, try to reason with him. That shit didn't work. We're in the middle of school shopping the weekend before school starts, and I'm telling you to stay close to me, and you're just going to do whatever. Oh, no. I didn't even take him to the dressing room. I lit him up right there on the floor. Right there.
That's what's up.
Said, but again, I can count his butt whoopings on one hand. But when they happen, they happen.
Yeah. But what's crazy though, Gracie? What you were saying as far as when you panic, to this very day, my daughter, she's 16 now. And if you ask her as far as what your dad said, as far as like, I instilled in her mind, if you're out of my sight, you're what? And she responds, too far. That's right. Too far. That's right. If you're out of my sight, you're too far. Period. Like it's little things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, I don't know. At least that's what I do with mine. Like,
I didn't believe.
I always used to hit her with that because it happened to me like about 2 or 3 times when we was in
I would see some parents they having their kids like on a leash. I didn't like that. I thought that was degrading to me.
Oh, the little monkey leash with the tail and shit. Yeah, they come in all different kind of animals like koala bears and roosters and shit.
Huh?
That wasn't degrading.
To me, it was. To me,
I ain't like that shit.
No, I'll just whoop your ass, and you're gonna listen to me. I don't have to keep you on the leash. You're not an animal.
You know what the leash was when we was growing up on Coopburg, and you can remember the leash was the belt. That was the leash, and it was around our parents' waist.
When the leashes came out, I was a grown man. I was beyond the leash. But parents back in the day didn't really get mad at you unless it was something important. Other than that, you can have a conversation with your parents on watching TV. You can act silly with your parents act silly with you. Us Generation X's, the problem with us, we fighters. We fight every damn body. We gonna fight your ass. We ain't gonna just stick to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just who we are. Our parents gave it to us and society gave it to us. We fighters. You can look at any Gen X, whether they older Gen X like me or younger like Grace or younger than her, we fighters. And that's a dynamic situation because we got a certain discipline growing up. You didn't see your mama's titties after you turned 9 or 10 years old. Now, if you did, you can look at your mama's history and be like, okay, mama, you was a little bit. But mama respected that. She respected the house. You didn't know Uncle Earl used to come through, or Mr. Earl. You always was at school. It was respect. Even fathers didn't, unless your father was just an alcoholic and he was just out in the bum, but that was far few. For the most part, fathers just either lived in the house or didn't live in the house. Not that he was just out here doing whatever. Now, if he was a player, you probably got to look at why you out here scared to date and get with somebody because it's in your genes and you just don't understand it yet. But, you know, I remember my father with me one time, 7th grade. I was getting too stupid. Like I have no problem. I failed every class. I didn't do shit that semester. Gym, art, science, social study. My conduct was A and B. I just didn't do no work. I felt like I was the man. Girls was liking me. They was rubbing all on me. I was playing football and winning city championships. Shoot. The ladies loved me. I was caught up. My father came, I brought home my report card. I showed my mama because, you know, I played her like, yeah, mama, can I go outside? She read it wrong, so I ain't correct her. So I like, because the biggest whoopings I was going to get was from my mama. She beat that ass. But my daddy whooped me one time. I played her, got to the park, went out, he came off work, came straight to pick me up from where I was at. I don't even know how he knew where I was, but he found me. He got me home. He told me go in the house. He playing, I guess, you know, he didn't just get out straight out and embarrass me, but at the end, I'm gonna make it quick. It could be sort of how you look at it. But he told me go in my room, he was gonna call me when he's ready. When I came out, when he called my name, guess what my mama said? And it was a house full of people. My siblings, because it was 6 of us in the home. 7 kids in the house. My mama had friends over, my friends from around the neighborhood, my siblings' friends and shit. So when I came around from my room, when he called me, this is the only thing I heard my mama say, and these are the last words I heard. My mama said, "Don't kill him." That's all she said. Don't kill him. That was it.
Damn. But did you die?
My father, he hit me 14 times with a piece of wood. Like, I guess it was a makeshift paddle. Because he always used to tell me, when I was in school, the teacher go paddle you. The teacher go get that hand if you ain't learning correctly.
I ain't gonna lie.
You was jacking off in class. So that was the respect he brought to me, because my father handwriting, that shit should be in the fucking Guinness Book of World Records. His writing shit is immaculate. But when he whooped me, I don't even know if I cried afterwards. I was crying in the minute because, you know, you don't want that shit to be hurt. I didn't see the pattern. To this day, I don't know who was at the house. Nobody has ever mentioned that. Only time it comes up is when I bring it up. Nobody's ever mentioned that.
You slept till next week.
Yo,
when I went back to school, I never had a problem in school. I did my work. Life got easy. 14, I learned how to cut hair. I was coming in the house at 6 or 7 o'clock from the 10th grade to now, till I got married again. Because I understood my responsibility. And he told me, take care of your responsibility. Don't let me have to correct you 3 or 4 times. That's what I've always took. When I had children, hey, you're going to do everything I tell you to do. You're going to eat good and I'm going to dress you well. But you're going to go to school, you're going to respect your adults, you're going to respect yourself. I say clean your room, which I'm going to show you. Clean your room. When I say take a bath, go sit your ass in the tub. That's it. Do your schoolwork. You need help? Daddy's a little smart. I got a college degree. Let me show you how to do it. Somebody new as it's sweet. You got to figure that shit out in class. Shut the fuck up. Listen to the teacher. She going to tell you. Other than that, take my kids outside, let them play a couple hours, burn all that ADHD out of them. I saw a woman, she saw me with kids. I saw her, she handled her kids. If I ain't like it, I wouldn't even exchange numbers or nothing. For all of us, that, how do people handle their children? How do they speak to them when you in the DMs and on the phone with them? What are they saying to them? Sit your funky ass down, you little bastard. It's not a mother. It's not a wife. So you got to understand that. How do people interact with their kids? That's a big thing. Because I come over and your kids just talking silly. Then I'm moving on. I'm going to have enough discipline, but it's part of the vetting process. So I don't know. See this little kid right here? This was a cute kid all day. So you had to acquiesce to me at that age. I was about 6th grade. So do what you got to do, fellas. Vet women, vet a man too. So.
Well, that kind of already sounded like your final thoughts, because we're about to hit final thoughts. Now, look, I'm still happy. We're at 312. We're still better than 5. So it's progress. That's how I look at things. Progress. I don't expect change overnight. See, that's people who are unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? we're progressing. We are in our final thoughts. So I'm gonna hit Jay. I'm gonna hit Smitty and Uncle Unc. If you got one last words to say, then you go, and then I'll go, and then we'll be done. So Jay, it's up to you. Final thoughts. Let's wrap it up. What else you got to add on to it? Thank you for coming. You bring a lot of good conversation. I love the age group difference that if you see the age group difference on this panel, just with the men alone, it's three different you got your 40s, you got your 30s, and you got your 50s. So we got three great perspectives on things, and I love it. And thank you for coming, Jay. Go ahead. What are your final thoughts?
I don't know. I think we hit everything. I love the conversation. I'm glad we stayed afloat. I'm just glad everybody in this panel agrees with whooping their kids. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what America says. My kids gonna get disciplined, boy and girl. Just because she's daddy's little girl, don't mean she don't get whooped every time.
Am I with daddy's little girl?
Now, granted, I'm a kind of little cheat with that. And here's why: my wife gonna have to hit our daughter. That's fine, but I got our son. Cause that shit ain't going down with me. I gotta make hit it to his head the hardest because I gotta keep him out of the penitentiary and all that other nonsense. So it's just to show you. But she will get her ass whooped regardless of anything. She's getting upset whooped. So discipline is needed for kids because you let your kid walk all over you, then I can't even call you a parent. You just what is that? You a stepping stone for children, and you let them walk all over you. So I'm like, hell no. So I'm a big advocate of discipline. For the conversations we had during today, they were awesome. Men vet women, the actual men who actually care about bench vet women. Well, at least to the good ones out there, make sure that he's everything in what you want in a partner, particularly, and make sure it's about the both of you. And like I said, if you love them, don't. And the last thing I'm gonna say, because I wanted to tell Gracie this because I wanted to say something later on, but we did get skipped a little bit past it. If you will host, I've never heard of a man withholding sex from his woman, so I don't have to worry too much about men doing that. But if you're a woman, if you withhold sex from your man, that man divorced you instead of cheating on you. I got respect for him because you're a lazy, self-entitled broad. That's what that tells me. Because if that man has done everything correctly, he hasn't cheated on you, whatever, you withholding sex from that motherfucker. Hey man, don't be surprised if his sister comes in and whoops your ass.
I talked to a divorce lawyer, and some women have the audacity to do it after the honeymoon. So why would men want to get married? I mean, I'm not trying to down marriage, but we got to do better, women. And then you wonder why they cheat on us. I mean, come on.
I will say this because I am doing a closing statement too, because I don't want to cut you off. But I'm adding what you're saying, Gracie. That could actually, to those dudes who still love that lady, that'll entice them to cheat. But I will say this: better he divorce you instead of cheating on you.
I mean, you're right. It doesn't make it right.
Principles and character. If he's doing it, he's going to do that. I'm just saying. He's not a complete scumbag, I would say, or a scumbag at all. He sounds like a man that knows his worth. And if he didn't cheat on you, whatever, you cheated on him and then withhold sex and stuff, I can't say nothing bad about that man. That man did what he was supposed to. You didn't. You're the
exactly.
That's just how I think. I'm like, But those are my closing statements. Just don't do that shit. It's disrespectful.
All right, Smitty, you're up. Final thoughts on the importance of vetting. And guys, and everybody in the chat, don't be shy to donate to the channel. It was a good conversation. Got a new laptop in the works. So, things are going to get better, ladies and gentlemen. What say you, Smitty, twin? And thank you for coming. Are you there, Smitty?
My thoughts will exist from this life to the next, so I don't have any final thought, for I will always be a thinker. Great show, Gracie. You just
Thank you,
keep getting
Twin.
better and better and better. I swear on life.
Well, I have a good
Like,
friend that
you
told
got
me
the
one
sound
day.
effects in the back now. You just got to get them off Tourette's and shit in control. That's okay. That's okay. We working on shit. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. I love it. I love it.
I have a friend that told me to just keep going, and that's what I'm doing.
Hey,
You
hey,
know,
I'm gonna tell you right now. Whoever that was that told you to just keep going might be a pretty dope dude.
right?
Shut.
I know that's right.
I
I'll
ain't
let
even
him
gonna
know.
lie to you,
I'll
son.
let
I
I'll
ain't
let
gonna
him
lie.
know I'll let him know you said that. All right. As
Hey,
long as
thank you. Yeah,
as long
pass
as
it
I
on.
see that person at the end of the race with a bottle of water, a shot, a joint, and something good to eat, I'm good. All right, Unc.
You see
Thank
how
you
on
for.
deck we are?
Yep.
Love,
Unc,
Gracie. I digress
one
when I
love,
can
baby.
hear it. Read.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. I love the fact that you come in here and you be spitting them gems, and I love it. And thank you. What's your final thoughts?
You know, I don't know if I always spit gems, but I just try to give, open-minded, unbiased as best as I can to help as many people. Grace, I'm gonna say a little joke first. Now I want to
Okay.
shout out to you. Now I want to shout out to your mom for getting you hooked on the salami. Ever since she slapped you across the back of your head with the salami, you like, hey, I need the damn salami before I even think you gonna get up on. You started rolling down that steps like, hold up, that's the salami I need in my life. It got me straight.
Shit. You better not say nothing about a salami in the chat group when we're in other panels. And I could just see it.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing. I just wanted to say it to you now. I promise you. I ain't gonna say
Okay.
But if it do come up, you better look at me like, so no, but listen, everybody's giving good advice, and if you out there looking to get into the dating world, the marriage life or whatever, take the good advice, take what works for you. There's really no one straight answer that you can get. You might have to take 15 answers and make it one, but look at it from an open mind, an open point of view. Everybody has baggage when they meet you. Ain't nobody's coming to each other with a clean slate. Just understand what your deal breakers are. Stick to your guns. It may hurt your feelings, but it won't break your heart. And when you get a broken heart, you can see that shit lasts for years on years. Some people never get out of it. They speak from a broken heart. One incident in their early 20s. So just be careful how you move. Ladies, be safe. Put track devices on your phones with your friends, your loved ones. Let them know where your ass is and are, however you want to look at it whenever you get out. Just be safe, whatever you do. Can't say not have sex. Your ass is going to have sex. Women, you're going to want to have sex more than most men do. And y'all actually do, based off the numbers. So just protect yourself, sealed. Wear the condoms, wear the prophylactics. The hell with the plan B. No. Ladies, your value is in who you are as a person, your body. And if you can get past that Uchi stage, that being too hot stage, and not have a child, your value is still at the top. Then you can start asking for those certain demands. Fellas, in the meantime, don't even focus on those women. They gonna come to you as they see your value grow. And then you have to set a standard on what type of woman you want, what the expectations are. Other than that, continue to build. It's springtime. Everybody fucking work out. Everybody drop 10 pounds and save $500 over the next 90 days. Thank you, Grace. It's always good.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, guys. So with that being said, these are my final thoughts on the art and embracing the art of vetting. To all my embracers, vetting is vital to picking a future potential girlfriend, boyfriend, woman, man, fiance, and ultimately spouse. It's a process of assessing compatibility on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and most importantly, spiritually. By understanding their history, kink, lifestyle, preferences, values, morals, and other relevant information, it is important that we continue to vet. While vetting does not guarantee successful outcome, it can help you choose a partner that aligns with the version of the lifestyle you want to practice and increase the likelihood of a positive experience. So with all that, as always, embrace yourself and embrace others. So don't forget to vet, vet, vet. Thank you for coming, guys. I really appreciate the engagement, the participation, the likes, the cash apps, the emails, the texts. Keep them coming. You guys give me energy and keep me going. Like I said, I have a good friend that tells me to keep going, and that's what I'm doing. But I need y'all to keep going with me. So till next Thursday night, y'all catch me on Tuesday night at Black Men's Unfiltered. You catch me Saturday night with my guys, my twin and my family on Intellectually Embracing Smitty's Corner. And guys, I know I've been saying this for a while, but I am going to start to be more consistent. You just got to give me time. I got a lot on my plate. I'm trying to delete some stuff so I can add more stuff. So with that being said, guys, I really do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming and have a wonderful
You know who made it.